Ooh, we got a double stream. Bonus.
We did.
Bonus. How do I, can you see me okay?
Well,
Light
you
is
look
okay?
a little worn and haggard. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
the lighting or that's just you.
Ain't that the truth? So, yeah, welcome everybody to the show. I guess I should start out with my real intro here. Yo, YouTube. This is the Wednesday Night Live, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time we do every week. Me, Charlie, and the GOAT, Stuart.
Stu.
The real reason you're all here, we know.
Right?
We're maybe we can add some value to the content, but we know it's all about the Stewmeister.
We just
so we got a few things to talk about today. I actually had a few viewers kind of reach out to me and ask about talking about a couple things. So we're going to try to do that, and then maybe talk a little bit about what we've got going on ourselves. I'm sure we'll do that as well on the eBay front, card show front. I just got a notification for a new card show in February that I think I'm going to try to go to. It's another one put on by Cardboard Legacy down in Oshkosh. I don't know if you saw that one at all.
I did. I didn't realize that was a different one, though. I thought that was one of the ones we went to.
Nope. The January one is their normal once every 6 months one, and then this February one is some other kind of show, I guess.
Okay.
So I'm kind of excited about that. I like the shows there. I feel like we've done well with them.
Yeah.
So let's try to keep it going, I guess. Gotten some good stuff there. So first thing I want to talk about is a deal I missed out on today, and I'm so mad at myself for it.
You missed out on a deal?
I did. Actually, hold on one second. Entertain the masses here. I gotta go. I forgot to shut the door to my office. I'll be right back.
All right. Do what you gotta do. Good evening, everybody. I hope you are doing well. It is getting to be the holiday time of year, so if Saint Nick comes to your house, I hope he was
okay. That's enough.
All right.
no, I'm playing.
He's like,
yeah,
that's Nick, too much. You're done now.
Right. That's enough, Charlie. Yeah, Saint Nick came to our house too, so that's always fun. No, I like that. The kid was ambitious last night. She put out some like cinnamon bread and carrots and all kinds of stuff. So she was ready for his appearance for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, she's 8, almost 9. So kind of that
Nick,
sweet spot.
Brought me some cards.
I heard some bad cards too, huh?
Well, yeah. I was actually just going through some of them, looking at the miscuts. This is one of them. You can see on the side away from what I'm holding. Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, there's this is kind of a stack of miscuts here.
That's awesome. Those you should be able to get good sales out of those.
I don't know who's looking for a Jordan Sprinkle card.
Doesn't matter. It's miscut, especially modern. You don't get a lot of real miscut modern stuff.
Or
whenever I get vintage miscut, which you get all the time, stuff sells right away.
What about a Wan Bin Cho?
I don't know who that is.
I don't either. Like, who are some of these guys?
It's probably his only miscut card in existence. So there's probably something to it.
Yeah, I'll have to do something with them.
Yeah. I did not get any cards from Saint Nick.
I also got an auto redemption card.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Saint Nick brings treats to my house. That's what we get. So
yeah, we get those too. Those too. Oh, my light went off here.
So the deal I missed out on today.
Yeah, what do you got?
It was, my affinity for the Sonic the Hedgehog stuff, right?
I've heard. Yeah, I saw you sold some this week too.
I did, yeah. Sold a big stack of them. So I've been bidding on this deal that was ending today, and I did manage to remember when it was ending, and I was on there with a few minutes left. And I was the high bidder, and I went and added another $10, $15 to it just to try to guarantee my success, and I lost out at the end. But it was 4 complete sets of cards and stickers, and then an extra like 70 or 80 cards and stickers, which is a heck of a lot.
Yeah.
and I was winning at $91. I went in and bid 104, just because I
Okay.
thought, well, somebody's probably throwing $100 on this thing in a snipe, right? Or 101. So I'm like, all right, I'll put 104 on it. If it gets a couple hits towards the end, I should still be able to pull it out. And it
Sure.
sold for $104.50. So somebody got the
Ooh.
snipe right out
So
in front of me.
you weren't using your sniper?
I wasn't, because I was the high bidder. So I didn't, if I would have put something in my snipe, it would have been 104. Would have
I
been the same number.
suppose. Sorry,
So,
I've got some technical difficulties here. I'm trying to fix while we're talking.
no problem. So yeah, it would have been a nice buy. I would have made a ton of money off of it. So got a couple other lots I'm working on. It's just we don't find that kind of non-sport stuff generally at our shows. So I've been trying to go in and sort of add to that. Consequently, I found an entire box of non-sport cards from that I bought at the National that I never listed. Here's a bunch of holograms and stuff.
Yeah.
A couple of really good ones that I didn't even know, were worth anything. These Batman Masters foil cards. Here, let me see if I can. Oh, can't touch the screen now to lay out here. Hey, look at that. It's much easier on the laptop. But they're these really cool Batman like foil ones, and then it's got like a gold signature from the artist on the bottom. And then like this one's really cool. See, it's got a dinosaur in the background, like coming after Batman. Yeah, they're awesome. But they go
I
for
don't
like,
remember the dinosaurs in any of the Batman movies.
I don't either. It's called the Batman Master Series, and it's got the artist's name on the back for each one. So this is
Danny
like
DeVito? He's
no,
a good
not
artist.
Danny DeVito. This is Jane Shig, Warhola. So yeah, really interesting. But they go for like $10 to $15 a pop.
All right.
I got the complete set, and I paid probably 2 cents a piece for these on my big non-sport deal.
It's a good deal.
And I got a bunch of like Grogu refractors from Topps Chrome. So Star Wars Grogu stuff is always a good buy.
Yep.
Where's the wrestling ones?
Wrestling
maybe,
ones.
maybe I put them away already. Yeah, I found they're related to video games. I don't know where I put them. Darn it. Anyway, I found these Sega ones.
Sega.
And there's one for like Streets of Rage, and there was one for a Spider-Man game. Oh, I stuck them in the drawer already. I'll go grab them maybe in a little bit. I suppose I should go back to our two screens here. But anyway, the Royal Rumble one, it's basically like a card that's kind of an ad for the video game that's going to be coming out.
Yeah.
Goes for like $25.
Nice.
And I paid, like I said, 2 cents, 5 cents max on those. It was one of the first buys I made at the National. So I lost out on my Sonic lot. I'm working on a couple other ones. I've got a Ninja Turtles lot that she just sent me a counter off on, and I'm pretty satisfied with the counter, so I'll probably take that. Because my Ninja Turtle stickers, I probably sold 40 of them this month. They've been insane.
Nice.
So yeah, that one is it's another like complete set kind of thing. It's like 4 complete sets and then a bunch of extras.
Right.
Which I like to do. I don't want to buy a 5-card lot. I want to buy a 300-card lot, but the 4 sets plus the 4 sticker sets plus I don't really care as much about the cards. I'll lot them, I'll get $2.99 for 12-card lots or whatever. But anyway, I think there was like an extra 15 or 20 stickers, random stickers, besides the 4 sets. Yeah. And she wants $28.50 for it. Free shipping besides. And they come in the nice snap boxes, which I can reuse for shipping.
There you go.
I think that's an easy value, because each set, the stickers are I think it's 11 cards for the sticker set in those. So that's 44 for the sets plus another 15 or 20 stickers. So probably figure 60 stickers. Let's just say that. Yeah. For $28 is a heck of a deal. So probably jump on that. And there's a bunch of cards out of the set that you can sell for a premium. The first Shredder card, the first Raphael, all the character cards. The header card, the card that kind of announces the set and stuff. So I'm excited about that. But non-sport, that's my kick right now. That, and I've been listing some more rare farm stuff too. Gotten a couple of good sales. I had a $450 card sale.
Is it more rare or rarer?
Rarer. I don't like I don't like rarer. It sounds like, Stuart trying to growl. Rarer.
That's what he sounds like when you rub his belly.
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna get down a rabbit goat hole if we start talking about this.
Hey, we're 11 minutes in. We're due for a rabbit goat hole.
Right? Yeah, true. We're past rabbit goat hole hour for sure.
Yeah.
Let's get to some. You want to get to some of the chat? Should we do some of that?
Let's do it.
All right. So Bill Simus is here. Good evening, fellas. Good evening, Bill. How does the message on the screen? Does it look better from the laptop than the phone?
It looks exactly the same.
Shush, can't. There's no way. Hey, look, there's a message from me. How about that?
Look at you.
I'm participating in the chat tonight.
Did you see that light bulb I found for you?
That yes, I did. That might have to be a purchase. We'll see.
Yeah, you got to figure out how to utilize that.
Right now it's like just try and get ready for Christmas and the holidays and decorating and all that, and I'll worry about what I'm gonna do with my office once the season's over. So right now I just stuck all the stuff in my office that I don't want to deal with for now. So
yeah.
But anyway. So Bill says clean cut. Not exactly. I still have my long hair. It was just it was just tamed. Smells good though.
Whoa. You should leave it like that all the time, where it's just like hanging down around, because it kind of looks like Bill and Ted days.
It's funny you mentioned that, because I was gonna say, somebody told me the other day, it must have been out of one of the videos where I had my hair down, and they're like, "Oh, whoa, you look like Keanu Reeves." I'm like, well, I could do worse, I guess. So yeah, don't worry, I'm not clean cut. I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
Was Keanu Bill or Ted? I think it was Bill.
He was Bill. Ted was the blonde guy.
Okay.
Wait.
All right.
No.
See, now you're second guessing
yourself. No, he was Ted. He was Ted.
He? Yep. Theodore S. Logan, something like that.
Yes. Yes. Anyway,
did you see the newest one?
I did. I actually thought it was okay. I mean, they didn't take themselves too seriously
with it for me.
I'll tell you what I did watch of a series that's gone on way too long was the new Indiana Jones, and it was really good.
The newest movie? I haven't seen it yet. Don't spoil it.
You want me to tell you what happens or what?
Well, I'll tell you what. As long as it doesn't involve boulders, snakes, and hidden treasures.
Don't watch it then. You're out. Bargain Boxer is here. He says, "Boom!" I think that means he caught us right at launch hour. Welcome.
That just took me right into NBA Jam mode.
Right? Yeah. And I was playing that the other night in the arcade. I was having so much fun. Scott Biscus is here. He says, "Good evening, gents." Good evening, Scott. Bargain Boxer says he might be buying a collection from a guy in Wisconsin next week, part of a 3 million card purchase. Well, I want in on that. We're in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Send me some info. Does he have like non-sport or not numbered stuff? Because I know you're looking for all the less than 100 numbered serial numbered stuff. So
his name is Bo, together and they're on a pallet.
Is that who it is?
No, I'm just throwing.
Oh, I was going to say, why would you want that? That's all commons. Why would you want that? I won't be buying pallets. That's not my thing. Art Green has joined us. Good evening, gents. Going to have to leave soon to play some hockey, but I have to give you props for the end and relist tip, Adam. Some still inventory finally moved. Yes, good to hear. That is, I just did some every time before the show starts. I do some end listing, sell similar. I'm gonna go without the glasses. End listing, sell similar, and I try to do that at least once or twice a day. And yeah, sure as heck keeps your inventory churning, especially when you start getting up to the higher numbers of listings. To some of that stuff sits for a long time, and it's good to keep it back to the front once in a while.
Yeah, for sure.
Good luck at hockey. Don't break your chiclets. Let's see. Bargain Box here has a Jordan Sprinkle 1 of 1. Bought it because it sounds like a Schmorn name.
Yes.
I don't know what Schmorn is. Is Charlie like the Wizard of Oz and hiding behind a curtain? I think he's hiding in front of a curtain.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Pay no attention. Bill wants to know how the Beavis and Butthead cards are selling. I have a set I need to break up and list. I sell a lot of Beavis and Butthead cards. I bought a big lot of the European ones with the purple border. It was almost 2 complete sets, not quite. And I continuously have Beavis and Butthead sales. So and as a matter of fact, I've had so many sell that I'm just about to the point where I'm going to try to buy another big lot. That's the thing with those. You don't know which ones are going to sell and which ones aren't. So you kind of have to list them all, let things happen, and then just grab another lot at some point, You're probably going to get them as a set. It's nice if you can get the sets or the lots and it comes with some of the inserts, like some of the scratch and sniff cards, things like that, just because those can go a little bit quicker and you can get more money for them, and it just kind of helps you at least get to your break-even point pretty quick, and then you can let the rest sort of sit around and keep getting plucked out of the store. That's what I do, as time goes on. Scott says he was at Target tonight and there was a guy stocking boxes. Still nobody was around the area. Like $30 or $40 for a blaster box is crazy. So I was at Meijer last night, and the new blaster boxes are $39.99.
Yeah.
For like Prism and stuff, and Elite Football for $40 for a blaster. Nope.
Yeah.
So whereas I'm not much of a pack cracker anyway, because it's a losing, even at $20 a blaster, it's not the best return. But at $40, like I barely eat, at $20 I would buy one for fun once in a while. You should come close to breaking even, make a little bit here or there. But at 40, I just can't do it. And I don't have the desire to spend that. Now, Meijer did have a deal where it was buy one, get one 50%. So if you're doing 2 blasters, you 40 and then 20, so you're paying basically 30 a blaster. But I still think that's too much for most of the brands. Yeah. So yeah, I get what you're saying, Scott. I kind of pass on all that too. I'll let everybody else rip it, and then I'll buy the stuff that they don't want on a deal. Fernando Goncalves Jr. has joined us. Hello, welcome to the show. Tom is on here. He says, "Evening, fellas," and Stu.
GB.
Yeah, we don't really know. Is Stu a fellow or not? You want to go down that rabbit goat hole, or should we kind of leave that as it is? He's just Stu.
It's really hard to tell.
Do you like this layout or do you like this layout?
I noticed he changed it, and I was trying to navigate that in my mind of which one I like better. I'm used to the other one. This one was a switch. Yeah.
This just sort of brings us in a little bit more, I guess.
It brings us in a lot more.
So are we against that or what?
We should ask the chat, more or less.
Yeah, which one? Yeah, of course. Why don't we ask the chat? What the heck was I thinking? What do you guys want? You want to see more of me and Charlie? I'm pretty sure you do.
They want to see is more Stu.
Here,
look at that.
Do this.
Look how much Stu you get to see now in that view. Oh,
wait, how do I do it where it's just you?
I don't know. You're in control, man.
Solo layout. Press Shift F1. Oh, that's just the instructions. Yeah. I don't know how to.
You've done it before when I've shown cards
Solo.
and stuff.
There it is.
There it is. There it is.
There he is. There he is. Yeah, I apologize. A little bit of technical learning here as we go. I don't normally do this on my laptop, but I've had webcam issues for a while. I spent some time on it tonight, fixed it. So this is going to be a better way for me to do it where I'm not on my phone. All right. Urethra says Cooter got to compete with Charlie's facial hair grooming. I don't really do much facial hair grooming. I sort of shave it up here and there when I feel like it. Um, it is cold here in Wisconsin, so I'm all about hair wherever I can get it. I'm in my mid 40s and I have a really nice head of hair. I'm not going to give it away. That's the way I look at it at this point. And if people say I look like Keanu Reeves, I think I'm doing all right.
There you
I'm
go.
definitely not in his shape. He's in better shape than me. I mean, round is a shape, but it's not the shape that he's in. Scott says I have done end listings sell similar, but it worries me because almost inevitably there is one or two that doesn't relist, and I can pinpoint which one didn't. Thus, I have a card or two in inventory unlisted. Yeah, that might happen once in a great while. I think I've had that happen once or twice. I have 33,000 listings, so 2 listings that don't repost is fine by me. You really should, and I gotta kind of figure out how I'm going to do this, but you really should kind of count your inventory once a year. Sounds atrocious at the numbers that I have now. But yeah, that would be a good thing to do, and then kind of compare to what you have listed. If you got a couple hundred listings, that shouldn't be too complicated to do. Bargain Boxer says, a guy in Wisconsin told me that he could bring $100,000 and still not get it all. Okay. Well, if he's got what, 1 million cards, I mean, I guess it depends on what it is. Let me know, because if he wants 100 grand, maybe we can all pull together and come up with something and buy it out. That would be awesome. Bargain Boxer says he likes the less view. I switched back to the less view. I get it. I get it. Billy or Billy? Billy or Billy? I'm not sure what that's referring to.
Not sure either.
Cooter got the Seattle 92 look. Your hair is like that. Yeah, I have to do I'm actually due for like some under trim because I like to pull it back. So what I do is I cut it shorter on the sides. When I pull it back, I don't have as much to pull back.
Under trim. I thought that's what they called manscaping now.
Rabbit go hole. But yeah, I used to call it COVID cuts because you couldn't get a haircut, so I had my wife cut it, and then we just continue that. So that that's just all it's called now. Like, hey, it's time for a COVID cut. Let's see, Billy Goat. Got it. I would say it's yes, Billy would be the Billy Goat spelling. Would each of you be able to share your inventory system to file and pull? I've sorted by team, but it's already getting unruly to quickly find cards that sold. So, and we've talked about this in the past, but basically that makes sense because I think that's going to happen to everybody. You're going to have a pretty simple sorting system when you only have a couple hundred cards.
Yeah.
Then you're going to need to kind of build that out a little bit for a bigger inventory, and then some more and some more. So yeah, you just have to evolve it over time. For me, it depends on what the cards are that I have in inventory. So for example, I have a ton of Favre cards, probably like 25, 30,000 Favre cards. So I just sort them by year. That's the easiest for me to do it that way. I do the same thing with Brady. I have a lot of Brady stuff. But like Acuna, I might have 100 Acuna cards. So then I just have a tab that's Acuna. I don't split it by year or anything like that. Now, as I accumulate more Acuna and it becomes, a few hundred cards, well, then, I'm going to probably split it out by year. Also, if the player is new, there's no point in splitting it by year. So like Trevor Lawrence, for example, he started last year. So there's only 2 years of cards. The first year's all rookie cards, of course, and then the second year would be his second year cards. So you're probably going to have more cards of players that have played longer or are retired, whatever. Those are the ones that you probably want to build out a bigger inventory system on. At least if you're selling low end stuff like we do. But yeah, you have to just kind of just do what makes sense. If you've got 1,000 cards of this player from this set or something like that, if you're listing them by sets, like let's say you're a set breaker. I know a bunch of eBay sellers that are set breakers. So you buy a 1978 Topps baseball set. Well, you probably want to put them in number order then, and then as you get sales, you just basically look for that card number. So it really depends on what you're stocking, as to what the best system would be for doing that. And
Yeah, I think it.
It's one of those things. I wish I had all day to just sit and organize stuff, but that's not the best use of my time either. I need to list and sell and ship and do all those fun things. So sorting kind of happens when, like for example, this afternoon my phone battery was almost dead. I list all my cards on my phone. So I'm like, great, I'll plug my phone in for a while. I'll take some of my stacks of cards that I have listed and I'll get them, filed in my inventory drawers. And I'll do that. And then I'll start making more tabs as, things start becoming full and I'm running out of space and I need to open a new drawer, or reorganize it. And yeah, it just kind of forces itself upon you, as you grow. I don't know what you think of that, Charlie.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is personal preference on how you prefer to organize things in your everyday life. For me, organization part one is sport or non-sport. So like I have a box just of non-sport here. Just this is all non-sport, and then there's a monster box with all sports, and then it becomes how much do I have of each of those categories. So non-sport, there's not as much clean stuff to categorize by. Like I may put movies together, I may put all the Marvel stuff together, but sport is where I spend more time categorizing. So I have, I think, about 1,000 baseball cards now, and that's the majority of my listings. I've gotten to the point now where just recently I started adding alphabet dividers in there. So I sort. So all my baseball is in a row on its own, and then I sort by last name actually. Um, and I do that to be able to quickly just grab the right handful to find it. But if I don't have that volume, like for example, if I so my basketball collection is growing yet. This is probably half of it. So that I haven't sorted at all yet because it's still small enough where I can just grab a handful, thumb through, and say, okay, there's the card I need for basketball. But I kind of look at it as once I get to a full row, maybe a little past a full row in a monster box, now I want to start organizing it. So football, I have a little over a row. That one is organized by last name as well. But I haven't done like the little dividers in it yet. So it's kind of organic as it grows.
Mm-hmm.
I try to stay ahead of, boy, in a year from now, what is this going to look like and what's going to be easy for me to grab a card then? Because I want to do the work now, not when it's 3,000 baseball cards. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah, you're never there's three things in this grind business you're never going to stop doing. That's organizing, listing, and shipping. If you're not doing any of those three things, you're not operating. So,
Yep.
yeah, it's just a constant. Yeah, I get a nice stack of stuff from a show. I get them all listed. They go into my to be put away in the drawer pile. Then I file them all in the drawer, and then they sell, and you got to pull them back out of the drawer and ship them out.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes I'm willing to take a fair offer right away when I list a card. First of all, I didn't promote it yet, likely, because it's just moved from my listing pile to my listed and needs to be filed. And it's really easy for me to just pull it out of there, put it in a top load, and ship it. It doesn't even have to get into my inventory drawers.
Yeah.
So if you can get some sales that save you some time, you can take a little bit less money that way. So something to consider. So I basically have my 3 stages before it gets to my final inventory. I have all my stuff that needs to be listed. Then I have my just listed stuff that goes on the other side of my desk. And then I have my permanent file cabinet drawers and a couple boxes because my cabinet drawers are getting full. I have to do some reorganization in there.
Yep.
But then they go in there, and then that goes into my real filing system. So based on name, year, whatever depends on what the card is. So yeah,
Yeah, and sometimes I separate stuff off on its own too. Like not by me right now is a small single row box of just auto racing, and that's all that's in there.
sure,
That one I don't move cards as frequently as the baseball and the football and stuff. So that one's in a box on its own, set aside in a different part of the room. But when I get an order, I know exactly where to go. It takes me like 30 seconds. That one is also alphabetical because I'm closing in on over 500 cards of NASCAR now. So I let's say it's an M. I go about halfway into that row. I grab a handful. There they are. Takes me just a couple seconds to grab it.
sure.
Yeah.
And it gets, the more you have, the more complicated it gets.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's just the nature of things. I So kind of the way I look at inventory and organizing is I try to spend my time on the thing that is going to need to happen. So to some degree, you might file stuff in inventory and you don't sell it for a couple of years. So I'd rather spend a little bit more time when I actually sell it to pull it than to over organize it or over engineer my inventory
Yeah.
when it might not sell right away. So you have to decide where you want to spend that time and that focus. I spent the first 3 years of doing this listing, buying, and just building the business. I figured, the organization and that kind of thing would sort of come over time, which it has. Charlie, did you see what glass I'm drinking out of tonight?
Hamburglar, nice.
Yeah, remember this is the one that I bought at our show we went to.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
bought all this
That's
character
familiar.
glass.
The other thing about organizing it and why I prefer to do it up front is I'm not doing it full time like you are, Adam.
Mhm.
So a lot of times I'll wake up in the morning, check my phone. I've got a card or two sold when I wake up, and I oftentimes want to run downstairs, get that ready to ship out with me when I go out the door to work. So I have maybe 5 minutes to grab that, package it, and get it out the door. So it helps me do that pretty quickly when I know I can go right to this box in this row in this section and I'll find that card.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's all about a time management thing. And you make a good point. It is good to be organized on the front end because the pressure is on the back end, right? Once it sells, you have to complete that.
The clock starts, yeah.
In a timely fashion versus when you sort them and organize them, that's kind of on your time to some
Yeah.
degree. You can do it
Or my
when
kids' time.
right, or your kids' time. Urethra says under trimming is waxing the gooch, Charlie.
That's right. That's right.
Wow. All right then. Like hardwood floors, right? Is that what?
Yeah.
I hope my mom's not watching tonight. Stewie is more of a male name in general terms, so let's keep it male. That
Agreed.
sounds good to me.
That's
Yeah.
sound logic.
I don't know if it's probably not really relevant anyway. If Stewie were female, his scream would sound like Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween. Dude, she could really scream. She was good. For sure. Alphabetical within sports seems like a good compromise as each sports inventory grows. Yeah, you can do that. For me, I focus on players, not sports, for the most part. So I have like 5,000 Brady cards. So to support, to just do it by alphabetical, and then here's the B's, and it's 5,000 Brady's in the B's. That doesn't really work. So that's why I said depending on what you have. So for me, I take the Brady and I split it by year because I'm only going to have so many cards of each year, and it's pretty easy to dig out. A lot of times when I'm selling multiple cards of a player, it's collectors trying to fill holes in like the years or their sets or their collections, which usually are listed by year order. So I might get somebody buy 10 Brady 2004 cards because they're trying to fill out their 2004 year. So for me, sorting by year can actually make it faster that way too. But yeah, you have to do what works for you. There is no like you need to do this. It's a personal thing. And like Charlie said, if you don't have a lot of time to fill orders, you better make sure you know where your stuff is so that you can grab them and get them out. Because the
Grab and go.
worst thing you can do is, well, losing cards isn't so good either, but also not filling orders on time is a no. Tom says sorting, listing, shipping, researching, buying, photo taking, listing, selling, shipping. Started making a daily hourly plan to see how I spend my time and try to get it more structured with my time. Yeah, and that was something that I had down pretty good because like Charlie, I had a couple hours in the morning and a couple hours at night. And then when I went to full time, I'm like, okay, well now it's my priority because I can kind of set my day how I want. But now I've got it down pretty good, and I first come in and I do my couple of computer things I need to do, and I let that go, pull all my orders, do all my shipping, make videos, whatever has to happen that day, and then kind of get back to listing. Try to get as much listing done as I can every day. It doesn't always work out, but that's kind of the plan. Slabs, I sort current, retired, then by year and position. Slab by current. So he's got a row of current players, a row of retired players. Then he sorts those out by year and position. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's really
I
interesting. I
I
wouldn't have
tried to
thought of
do
position.
my pre-listing sorts by current and retired at one point, and I found that there's so many marginal players that I'm like, I don't know if this guy's still playing or not.
Also, that's going to change, right? So, like,
Yeah,
you've got
yeah,
so you have your stack of Brady's, and now he retired. So now you got to take them out of your current and move it to
yeah,
retired. You can't really stay. Well, I guess once they're retired, well, not every player retires and doesn't come back either.
yeah.
So, um,
I
I don't
guess
know.
those
Yeah,
slab
that's
players are probably
interesting.
going to be more prominent players that are more everyday, knowledge players too.
Right, right. Tom says low end. He does it by team, which by team makes some sense too. Your resources I've shared before, but since we're talking about it, I sort by team bag. 30 to 40 cards in a team bag. Team bag has a unique number. Numbers put into my listing SKU. Takes me seconds to find a card. That's a great process way to do it. Because then as you get new cards, you just get a new team bag, right? Doesn't even matter what card it is or what spelling it is. You just simply bag it, tag it, and throw it in the drawer. And as long as you basically are taking the next bag and making it a number or a letter up, should be easy to find, in your box or your drawers too.
Yeah,
Um, because where this could get complicated is, okay, great, now I have all these team bags. Where is each team bag? So you're still going to want to alphabetize the team bags or number them or something to that effect. Which it sounds like that's what you do. You have put a unique number on it and then you throw it in the SKU. So if you don't know what she's referring to, when you list something on eBay, there is a section in the listing that allows you to put in a custom SKU that only you can see as the store owner. And when you get a sale, you can simply go into that sale and it'll show you what the SKU is, and you can pull that out. I've seen people list also, and they'll put like a SKU in the listing title, which is
hmm
interesting. You can tell because it'll be like A2 or something like that at the end of the title of the listing. It has nothing to do with the card. So I think some people maybe just don't know how to use the custom SKU side, but that's something that I would maybe like to change into
yeah,
adding the SKUs, at least just adding like which row in a drawer or something like that. But gotta the way I look at it is right now my best time spent is continuing to build. I'm not maxed out on my listings yet. So I feel like those are some goals where I want to, get to the peak of my organization when I have my 66,000 listings. I'm almost at 34,000 now. So I figure I'm just going to kind of keep struggling along with the organization a little bit, doing the best I can with it until I hit that 66, and I'm not just trying to list as much stuff as possible at a time. and then take some time to really organize what I have. Because at that point, I'll need to make a decision. Do I want to buy into a bigger store and then add even more inventory? It would get extra complicated from there. So I want to know that my organization would be taken care of before I would do that.
Yeah.
33,000 is hard enough. 66,000 is going to be twice as hard to some degree. And then to go beyond that, 120,000 listings, at a top level store, that's going to take a lot more organizational tools too, more drawers, more boxes, more, more shelving, whatever. So I'm really just trying to bang out my listings to hit that 66. That's the huge focus right now. Because of course, as you sell, it makes it even harder to get to that number. But yeah, I like where you're going. I think that's a great process to use the team bag thing, and then you don't have to have in each individual spot nor each individual card is. You just got to pop that team bag, and you might have 50 cards in there or something. That's all you got to thumb through then to find the one that you need. Great idea. Scott says he started with a SKU system, but he made a few mistakes here and there in listings and had a hard time finding a card. That's the one downside to any organization system is if you put a card in the wrong spot, now you're totally lost.
Yeah.
And that's why I kind of like to keep it still somewhat generic, because I can generally grab 200 cards, 300 cards, and I can flick through them pretty quick. It might take me a second or two longer than having a smaller SKU system, but I'm not very likely to completely misplace a card then.
You also have the added expense of the team bags then too.
True. You can use used ones. I get them often when I'm buying lots on eBay and stuff, and try to get away with that. But yeah, because every 50 cards you list, you got to pop another team bag. The other good part about using the team bag system, though, is you wouldn't have to sleeve everything. You could team bag them real nice and tight together and keep them safe without, having to spend the penny and the time to sleeve every single card. So team bags might cost you a little bit more, but you could save on the other end. And then as you sell out of a section of a team bag, you could use that team bag to ship. So you could still, have some value in that later on if you're not going to continue with that SKU number. Anyway, yeah, lots to think about when you're looking at organization.
Yeah.
Joseph has joined us. He says, "Hey guys, went to my first card show in 25 years, picked up some good cards, but didn't realize that the cards I picked were all silver and not the fancy colors that sell for more." Yeah, Joseph is newer back in the game, so congratulations. Hopefully you're enjoying it, and you're obviously learning quite a bit. There's nothing wrong with buying silvers or even base cards. It's just it's a matter of what you pay for them. Make sure you're not paying for prices based on green prisms and red prisms, and you're buying silver prisms. Now that being said, I've had mosaic, for example, right? So there's two different silver prisms. There's the silver mosaic, which is kind of the silver all checkered pattern, and then there's the straight silver, which is just the shiny refractor surface. Now, technically, the mosaic silvers are a little tougher to pull, but I actually sell the base silvers for more money. More collectors want just the regular silver. They don't want all that checkmark pattern, checkerboard pattern to the card. So it really depends on your buyer and what they want. Now, obviously, if any of the colors are numbered, that influences it, if they're serial numbered. But you can sell a lot of silvers. It's kind of a standard in the market that people want refractors or silver cards, whatever you want to call them. And as long as you're getting them for the right price, you can resell them for sure. Peter's here. He had asked me earlier today, and I just haven't gotten to it yet. But he asked if I could share how I created a subcategory within the store. So I can do that. I'm going to have
after we
Charlie
talked about that, I
chat
looked at it as well, and it was a little more confusing than I thought. It wanted me to immediately move things to it and stuff, and I wasn't sure how that was working.
Yeah, I will. I'm going to share my screen here, and then we will take a look. And this screen share will work a lot better for me now too, because I'm not trying to do it from my phone.
Yeah.
So I like that
And I
part.
was trying to create subcategories on already existing categories is what I was trying to do.
Yeah, I don't do that. I just create a new one. Can you see my screen?
Yep, sure can.
You can see it, right? Okay. All right. So this is my eBay screen here, my seller hub. So you've got these tabs here. So you're going to go under store, and then the second link under store is store categories. Can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to click on store categories. Now, the first thing this is going to do is bring up all your categories. So you can see I've got them sorted by sports. And then I have a lot of players, which is what he was referring to. Peter had scanned my QRC code that's on my business card, which takes you to my selling hub, shopper screen, if you want to call it that. And it does have all my different categories listed, which is why I did it that way. But anyway, so you're going to go here and see the button that says add store categories. You click that. Then you add a name. So in my case, I'm usually listing player names. So let me trying to think of one
Elvis
that
Gerbach.
no, I want to list one that actually matters. How about this? We'll do Batman, okay? Since I was just talking about Batman cards. Oops, I want to capitalize the first name. Now, this category name your shoppers will see. So you want to make sure that you don't get sloppy with it. And you want to make sure that it's, spelled correctly, all that kind of thing. Anyway, so there's my title for the category. I'll hit save. Okay, you've successfully created a store category. Does everybody see that? You see that, Charlie?
Sure did. Yep.
Okay. Then what I do is, since I already have cards listed that I want to add to that category, click on my listings link. And this should pull up all 34,000 of my listings ish. Where am I at? 33,945. Oops. 33,945 I'm at right now. And then I simply type in the name of the card or player or whatever that I want to add to that category. So I'll click or I'll type in Batman. James Lofton. Oh, it just didn't load yet. So I have 110 cards that have Batman in the title. So then I simply click the all button, right? Because I want to move them all to my Batman category. And I'm going to edit all 110 listings. So it's a little slow. I think it's just slow when you're sharing the screen. Okay, so this brings up all 110 of my items now. So again, I'm going to click the all button. And I'm going to do a bulk edit and the category. Okay. Can you see this, Charlie?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the first category you're not going to change because that's like your listing category. So that's like non-sport cards and that kind of thing. You don't want to change those. All you want to do is change your store categories. So if you have an eBay store, select the categories of the items you are listing. So when someone goes to your store, this is the links that they can click on to see these specific items. So the first thing I want to do, and I always just change all of them. Most of these Batman cards should be listed as in my non-sports category, but I just want to make sure. So I'm going to add this category. So I click change category. So I'm going to go down to my non-sport, which is the last one here. Okay, so we're going to page down again. So my first category is going to be non-sport. So if anybody clicks on the non-sport category in my store, they'll see the Batman cards. And then my secondary category, I want to change to, and I'm going to click on all my categories. But I don't know. I was just kind of thumb through. And then here's Batman. Come on now. There we go. Okay, so we've got our two categories. We've got non-sport and we've got Batman. So I'm going to click apply. It takes a second, of course, to apply it to all 110 items. So then we want to submit. So you're going to click the blue submit button so that it makes that change to all of them. Of course, it doesn't cost you anything to do this. 110 listings are live. So you want to click on that you're done. And then you can kind of go back and check on it a little bit, right? So we've got our Batman listings here. It'll take a second for them to load, I think. Here we go. So then you can go back and double check and make sure that it's actually correct. Should be able to page over, but anyway. So let's click on this top card here and just make sure that it's listed in the right categories. So we'll just go to revise. It's the easiest way to see what your listing looks like. Can you still see me, Charlie?
Yeah, it took a while loading there. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all a little bit slow. Okay, so if we go back to store categories on this listing, you can see right here it says non-sport and it says Batman. Can you see that? Okay. That's it. Then that's your categories. So you want to add another category, you simply go right back to your it's a little hard to do when you're sharing the screen, but you simply go right back to your store. So you go to your selling hub, you go to your store, go to categories. You can also remove a category from here. Like there's lots of ways to do manipulate your categories. It'll also tell you what listings are in it. So you can click on that and it'll show you all those listings if you need to correct something, manually add something, whatever. But I do not use the subcategories. I simply use the store categories, which they allow you to, which is more than enough in every case I've found. So let's say I've got a Brett Favre card, right? I'll put it in football cards and Brett Favre cards. Pretty simple. I don't have a Packers category and a quarterback category. Like I don't have all these categories that I'm going to stick this in. I keep it fairly simple. So
Okay.
that's it. I'll bring us back here to our viewing. Does that help? Did that make sense to everybody watching? What do you think, Chuck?
Made sense to me. Yeah, I was trying to do it more as a subcategory within an existing category, but the way you did it there makes more sense to me.
Yeah, they allow you two categories. So unless your item needs more than two, you have to remember too, you don't want to get it too crazy complicated. And a shopper gets to your store and they're like, well, I want Favre cards. Do I go to the Favre link? Do I go to the football link? Do I go to the QB
Right.
link? Do I go to the Packer link? You might be, kind of overthinking it a little bit. So I try
Yeah.
to, I'm mainly a player reseller. So for me to make categories of the main players that I stock and sell makes the most sense. And then the sport, of course, because if I have an Alvin Harper card, I'm not going to have a player name category for him. I don't sell enough of his stuff, so that would just go under football cards. So football cards is kind of my generic listing.
Yeah, I think what I might end up doing is second categories for autos and relics, things like that.
Yep. Scott says he likes the team bag idea. Section things by team bag, by year, decade, team, or something. Yeah, there's lots of different ways you could theme it. And it's nice because they stay together, so you just grab the whole bag and take it out versus like you make all your tabs, but then you still kind of got to grab the loose cards out of the tab and keep them from falling over. And yeah, the team bag idea it's going to have a little bit of an upfront cost if you have a lot of cards. Like it would cost me probably like $75 to go a team bag everything I have now. But yeah, it's great if you're starting that way to build it. User says, yeah, I used to be detailed, but honestly now it's just whatever 40 cards I list get put in a team bag. As the volume's grown, made less sense for me to be as detailed. Yeah, as long as you're putting the correct SKU in your listing, you shouldn't really have any problems doing it that way. It's kind of like the resellers who do like clothes or random items. They have like a shelf system where they'll have like a SKU number in each section on the shelf. Same idea, basically. But yes, the team bag thing, and exactly where are we? New team bag for every new set of listings. Yeah, it seems pretty easy to grow your organization that way without. It doesn't take you a lot of time to file stuff. That's the thing that sucks for me. I'll grab a stack of cards that I have listed, and now I got to go in the drawers and keep pulling out all the drawers and putting them in the right spots. And
Yeah.
you don't really have to worry about that. You throw them in a bag, pop them in there. The only thing is I would make sure that you know what bag they're going into before you list them. So like I would say, okay, these 40 bag cards are going in this A6 bag or whatever, so that you for sure know when you're done listing these, they go in that bag. Because I could see a potential for you just keep listing and listing and listing, and then you don't have the bag, or you can't fit them all in the bag or something like that. You know.
One of the things mentioned I kind of like the idea of is if you use a date system as your SKU, now combine that with your end and sell similar relistings, and your SKU is going to tell you when you originally listed that, even though you maybe relisted it 3-4 times.
That's a great idea. Plus, you'll never. Well, so what would you do? Like month, day, and year,
Yeah, some
or month and
format
yeah,
of that.
you'd have to, because if you just do like November, I guess you could just do. Well, yeah, you can't just do month though, because if you list more than one day in a month, it's not gonna.
Yeah, like
You'd have to do
anything.
no,
And if I started a new bag today, I would do like 12/6/2023 or something like that,
yeah,
or 12/6/23,
yeah,
something like that.
yeah. You're right. It would be kind of fun to sort of keep track of the year, and that might help you
Well,
too for your accounting later on, because you can go back and go, yeah, I bought all these cards this year.
true,
You
yeah.
know, I listed them this year. They got added into my inventory, which you have to report, of course. Yeah, that's the team bag idea is pretty solid. I will admit
And I think you
that's a good
could
one.
start it in progress, right? Like, so
Sure, absolutely.
I wouldn't necessarily have to go back and redo everything I have,
No,
but I could start tomorrow and
yep.
start
You
doing team
grab a
bags in a new
stack of
box. Yeah.
right. You just grab a stack of 50 cards. Go to all those 50 cards in your inventory. Add the SKU. Put them in the bag, and you're done.
Yep.
So yeah, you're right. It's an easy catch up program. Also shows how age lower the number of team bag, the older the listing. Yeah, which we just discussed that. Great idea. Going to implement that. Excuse me. I use SKUs in listing title because it's easier when cross listing cards. Not every platform has a SKU field. Also bypasses eBay's rule of similar listings. Yep, you're correct. Yeah, you're right on track there. That's a good idea. I don't do quantity. Each card gets a listing. I don't do that.
I don't either.
But I get what you're saying. There's nothing wrong with doing that. It's just that's going to eat up a lot of your listings real quick if you buy. Like when I was getting those cards for 5 cents in Green Bay, I bought a stack of the same Joe Montana Topps insert card. They're all the exact same condition. They're all printed, centered. It's not like a condition issue card. And I've got 40 copies of it. I'm not listing 40 of those.
Yeah.
Plus, I have a lot of buyers who buy quantity. They're not likely to add 40 separate ones of those into their cart, but they might just hit, hey, I'll buy all 40 for $20, send me an offer on the whole chunk. So that part I wouldn't be doing unless it's, vintage or condition sensitive or something to that effect. Then I list individually, but the team bag for organization is a great idea. Anything that can speed up the pulling process is definitely something worth looking into. Hard to team bag anything over $5. Storing in top loads, semi-rigid, graded, but for mass raw, absolutely good way to go with the SKU system. Yep. With eBay, as long as the main photo is different, the title can be the same though. Correct. Yep, I do that with vintage. I have additional copies of a card, and each one has their own photo, of course. Another reason I don't scan, because if you scan all those pictures of all those different cards together and then you go to do the listing, you got to remember which card goes with which listing. Anyway, let's see. Tom, I do have a separate box section for cards over $20. Yeah. I saw your shipping video and I have a question. Where do you get your shipping label stickers? And what size stickers do you use on your envelopes? Okay, so my shipping label stickers, I should start putting links in my videos because I thought about this. I've had a lot of people buy like my thermal printer and stuff. I should be getting like something out of that, right? If they use my link,
Right?
I get my affiliate pay from Amazon or whatever. But anyway, yeah, you use a 4x6 thermal printer and you use 4x6 sticker labels. A bunch of different companies that make them. I buy them on Amazon, and I generally just, whenever I find a good deal on them in a good quantity, I just buy them. So right now I'm sitting on like 3,000 labels because I had found a really good deal on a 5,000 label case this last time. I didn't even need labels, but it was so cheap that I just bought them. But I try to pay like a penny and a half or so per label. So if you can get a stack of 5,000 for like $40 or something, you're doing pretty good, because I'd be able to slightly under, well, actually that'd be under a penny. So like 55, $60, you're looking at a penny and a half there. Yeah, so that's what I do. Yeah, it's 4x6. You need to print, a regular shipping label. eBay has a setting where you can tell it to print on a 4x6 label. So you just do your postage right through eBay, print the label, and then, as you saw in the video, how I apply it to the envelope. That way you don't have to lick the envelopes either, which is nice. So I've gotten really good at that now, Charlie. I don't lick envelopes at all anymore.
Yeah.
So the first few is kind of hard because without it sealed, that flap doesn't kind of want to lay down right. But I've got it down really good. I don't even have to think about it. It's total muscle memory now. I just slap that sticker on and roll it over the back, and good to go. All right, what is your thought behind the 66K listings? Is it a time to ship issue? My thought behind the 66K listings is that's how many they give you before they start charging you for additional listings. So that's why 66K. Yeah, I have a premium store. I pay $59.95 a month for it, and they give you the 10,000 listings for which you can use in any category, and then you get all those additional listings for listing in a cards category. Make sense? I know, Chuck, you're almost there, right? 62 and a half or something. Oh. Urethra says good points. I don't know if she's referring to something I said. Probably not. I don't usually make very good points, but Cooter tries. Give Cooter the effort award. Just finished typing up winner and 2 runners up of every Heisman Trophy winner so I can save it as a note and always have it. Started one for each Hall of Fame as well. Like having quick lists to check. It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. It's always good to buy Hall of Famers, and especially if you can get autos and stuff like that. There are collectors who just want that stuff. I don't know as much about the Heisman, but you're probably right. I'm sure there's people that are just after Heisman Trophy winners. All right, as a part-timer, it scares me to have too many listings. I feel like 15 to 20 sales a day is enough when I get there. I'm about 5 to 7 now. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what happened to me. I just kept growing and growing and more selling. And yeah, you get to a crossroads where you got to make some decisions. You start making more money doing this than your job and you enjoy this more, then go for it.
Yeah.
If you don't, and you like your job and you just want to keep this a side hustle, you don't have to have 30,000 listings. You can have 1,000 listings and just run off of that. Then you're not buying as much. You don't have to get out to stores or buy lots as often because you're not as pressured to get the listings and make the sales. So there's no reason this has to be a full-time job for anybody. If that's what you want, you can make it do that, but side hustle money, it's good for that too.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, does it allow you to put in 2 to 3 categories like Derek Jeter baseball and maybe something else like Yankees, something along those lines? You can only do 2 main categories, as you saw and as I went through it. You can do a subcategory from there. That gets a little more complicated and a little harder to put together, as Charlie indicated. I do not use subcategories at all, so I am not the one to give you a demonstration on how to do that.
And for every additional layer of categories you use, that's one more field in your listing to fill out too.
Right, and you want to make sure that next time you list a Derek Jeter card, you choose, because it's not going to import your store categories. Like if you copy from another listing of somebody else's, they're not going to have the same store categories as you. So you have to
Right.
put the store categories in every single time. So you'll have to choose Derek Jeter, baseball, Yankees, and go through that every time you list a card of his. Now it's worth it because it's Derek Jeter, the greatest Yankee of all time. But it's still going to take you a little bit of extra effort, and you might not want to do that for every subpar player like Mickey Mantle or one of those kind of guys. Right,
Whatever.
Charlie?
Thurman Munson.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Adam. We'll go back tomorrow and make some categories. Very helpful. The team bag scares me. Plus, I'm guessing you'll need like mailer labels to stay organized. Yeah, I think what I would do in that case, because I don't know that I would want to like write out on every one of those bags, and it's kind of hard to write on a team bag. I don't know if you've tried that before, even with a permanent marker. So I would probably get like a labeler, right? Like a Dymo or something, where you could just print out, category labels or something and stick them to the bag. That's probably going to be the best way to do it.
I would just write on masking tape or painter's tape. And
Or
stick it.
that works. Painter's tape, the overpriced masking tape, you could do that.
It's
Or you
so
could use,
great. It's so
or you could
great.
use the $1 roll stuff and
You could
put
kind of
that
say that
together.
painter's tape is the Derek Jeter of the tape world.
Oh, look at you! Look at you flipping it. I love it. Well done. Well done. Yes, but I also wouldn't buy Derek Jeter for my fantasy team because he'd be too expensive. You get what I'm saying?
That makes perfect sense.
Uh-huh. Okay, for sure. I only label the team bag after I list that particular stock, so keeps mistakes few and far between. Had every confidence that you knew what you were doing with it. Absolutely. Thanks, Adam, for explaining categories. You are welcome. Hopefully that helped.
I think my one concern about the SKUs is that with me listing on the go all the time, um, like forgetting where I was at, or mislabeling when I'm sitting at a fast food place having lunch or something like that. You know what I mean?
That's what I like about your suggestion of using the dates, because you,
Yeah,
you shouldn't
that's
you
why I
shouldn't
would do
screw
that.
up the date. And even if you don't know what date it is, you can easily look that up. And your SKU should never match because you would have every day is different.
Yeah,
Now, if you listed a stack in the morning and a stack at night, that might not work out so well. You might have 2 stacks the same date. Not that that's
A and B.
impossible to search through, but yeah, you could do A, B, or morning, afternoon,
It's definitely
PM,
got
AM,
possibilities.
PM. Yeah, exactly. What's your guys' opinion on buying a $200 or less overhead scanner? I do everything by my phone and maybe 10 in an hour on my phone. You should be doing a lot more than 10 in an hour. I've put out a video where I list a card in about 45 seconds, and that was before the system became more intuitive. Now I have recorded an updated one. I'm at more like 35 seconds per listing, but I haven't shared that yet. I haven't figured out how I want to put that into a video. Um, but anyway, you're definitely overthinking it. Maybe putting too much in your listing. I don't know. If
Well,
it's getting 10 done in an hour, because
I
that's what, 6 minutes per listing. That's a little
yeah,
excessive.
I'm sure they're doing some of what I do with some of my stuff yet, which is still spending time researching and comping because we don't have the same experience in listing that you've seen over these years. You've been doing it
Sure.
now, so
Sure.
you know more about the sets, the inserts, the chase cards. Whereas I still find myself learning more about those, so I will do more eBay searches versus I know a lot of your listings. You say this is a card I sell a lot. This is what I always get it for, and you put it out there.
Yeah, and I'm more concerned with my margin than I am anything else. I don't really care what it sold for previously. You don't want to get taken, if you've like that Royal Rumble card that I got for 2 cents. Of
Yeah,
course I'm going to ask the $20 for it because that's what it sells for. But honestly, I could sell that for $5 to $10. I'm sure I would sell it within a few seconds. I could ship it and be done with it, and I made a huge profit on it. So you,
yeah.
you need to know what your cost was above everything else, and then make sure that you're getting a profit margin out of it.
Yeah, but I mean, usually when we go to a card show, every card I can pick up, I can sell for $2 pretty easily and make a
Sure.
margin. Where the research and the comping comes in is those cards I find that I can sell for $20 or 15 or 10.
Yeah.
I don't know those off the top of my head yet.
Sure.
Now, granted, something about that card makes me want to look it up, right? Like there's
Right.
something that says, I think this is a more unique card. I need to spend a little more time on it. But I've noticed since I started doing this and having discussions with you and doing this show every week that every week I get more comfortable just grabbing a random card and saying, I'm going to put this out for this much without looking it
Right.
up.
Yep. This is the way I look at it. If it's something I feel like I need to look up, then I'm just going to copy someone else's listing, and it takes me less than 35 seconds then to list it in most cases, because everything should be there. You just have to add your photos and your price, and that's it. So your shipping,
Yeah.
how you do your shipping. But um, I think even comping, it shouldn't take you 6 minutes. But I digress.
And
The
here's
the
the
overhead
other
scanner, I think the
thing too,
overhead
Adam, is
scanner would
I'm sorry.
save you on the photo time. Sorry. The overhead scanner would save you on the photo time, but it's probably not going to save you on the listing time, because what's taking you the time to list is putting in the categories and doing your comping and all those things we were just talking about. I would think snapping a photo with your phone is not any slower than using an overhead scanner and then having to upload all the photos.
Yeah.
So
What I
then,
was going to add in about the research, Adam, is I had an example today. I was listing like a 2015 Topps football card or something like that, and it was a top 60 logo on this particular one. And my
mhm,
first inclination was that's an insert. Well, it wasn't an insert. It was a base card that was no different than like the old Future Stars and things like that.
yep.
They're just a subset of the base and not a true insert. And usually I want to list it as an insert if it's truly an insert. So I still find myself getting research on some of these cards to better understand the sets,
Well,
the
and I
years, the name.
definitely do that too.
Yeah.
I don't care how long you've been doing this. There's no way you know every card. There's
True.
trillions of them.
There's so many. Yeah.
Well, and you're right. I think what it is it becomes a feeling or an instinct or a spidey sense, right? Is a good way to
Yeah.
put it.
Yeah.
Where I can look at a card, and even if I don't know exactly what that card is worth, I can go, something seems different about this one. I've seen other cards from this year and it doesn't have that logo, or why is this one silver? I always thought they had gold foil on
Yeah.
them. Why does this one have, a different number on the back?
Yeah.
You'll catch those triggers, and then that should, clue you in that you got to do a little bit of research so that
Yeah.
you make sure you get the right price. It was funny. I was watching Bo's show yesterday, and he talked about a card he had listed for $2.99 or something, and within seconds he got an offer from somebody for $2.50. So he's like, well, thought it was just a basic card. So I went and looked it up, and I found a couple other recent sales at like $10 or $12.
Mm-hmm.
So he, of course, declined the offer, went back, changed the price to 10, 12 bucks, whatever it was. And it's like, man, if that guy would have just clicked that $2.99, he would got a heck of a deal.
Yeah.
But got greedy, wanted to see if, it's best offer. Let's see if I can get a little bit of something off on this. Didn't go too far down to try to, attract a, yep, I'll take that, for the sale. And there you go. So,
Yeah.
it's just par for the course. There's going to be times when you don't sell a card for as much. There's sometimes where I sell a card and it's like 3 times what it's been doing on the market with other sellers. So it should kind of even itself out. Let's see. You should definitely have affiliate links, Cooner. Yeah, that's gonna be in my next game. So kind of a sidebar on that one. I did some affiliate links with Amazon when I first started the channel. If you go to some of my early videos, I have like all these stupid links in there. And Amazon actually kind of kicked me out of the program because I didn't have enough sales.
Yeah.
Which is a thing. So I'm like, well, I don't even know if I can go back in and add affiliate stuff again. Like I'd have to reapply. You have to like apply for the program, and I don't know. It felt kind of stupid. So, and when I first started out, I'm like, well, how many people are going to click on my link for top loaders? Everybody has a link for top loaders,
Right.
know. And let's say somebody even does click on that link and they buy 100 top loaders at 25 bucks. What do I get? Like 8 cents, for
Yeah.
that sale. And then you have to hit $100 mark before they even pay you. So it could be like 5 years of affiliate sales before I even get, $100. So anyway, that's kind of where I was at with that. But it's been coming up more and more. People want to know what I'm using. That I think that not only would it be nice for me to be able to monetize that if I send people to sales, but it would also help me help you.
Yeah.
Because those links would just be in that section and you could go, oh, this is his scanner that he uses. Oh, this is or hey, I found this really great deal on these labels. Boom, affiliate link below kind of thing. To better help everybody with that process as well. So yeah, probably got to get back in that game a little bit. We also need some goat merch. I've gotten
Yeah.
that suggestion quite a few
I
times.
think
So
I think I'm gonna print off a picture of the goat from my background here.
right, a screaming goat. You got to have him like with his head in a hole and like have it like rabbit goat hole.
Yes.
You know, it'd be cool. You know the Warner Brothers logo where it's like the circle with the
Yeah.
the lines on the outside
Mhm.
with the, I think it's Bugs Bunny's head's coming out of it,
Yeah.
or Porky Pig's head. Porky Pig's head, right? Porky Pig
Yeah, I think
head's
you're
coming
right.
out of the circle. Anyway, but you have a goat head coming out of the circle, and you just like in the Warner Brothers type font, you put rabbit goat hole or something like that. I mean, come on, we'd sell like 1,000 of those
And
T-shirts.
and then him saying,
What's up? Let's see. Adam and Charlie photograph everything. I use a cheap Canon flatbed scanner. I wanted a fancy Fujitsu, but I've had a hard time keeping up with listing what I scan as it is. Yeah. I think that's the thing. I think everybody wants a faster way to do this, but in the end, you still have to do the work. You're still going to have to go in and take those photos, upload them to your computer. Then you're going to have to assign each photo to each listing you do, and then put the details in for each listing. I don't know how much time you're really shaving off. That's why I try to use a video to show, hey, I can list a card in 35 seconds from grabbing the card, laying it down, photographing both sides, to putting in the details, to listing it, and it's done. Don't have to go to my computer. Don't have to do anything else. Don't have to buy a $700 scanner that sits over here and a listing program at $60 a month and all that. I'm able to get a couple hundred listings most days. Mondays are tough because I ship for like 14 hours, but most other days I can list quite a few cards and I don't have any of those fancy tools. So, and I have a 100% feedback score, so my photos are quality and they're showing the card that the person's getting. I don't know that the scanner is going to up that experience at all for you. Not against them. I'm just saying for me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I also don't list to my phone. Otherwise, I might take photos instead of scanning. Right. See, I don't I guess I don't understand why you would list on a computer when it's so quick and easy to do on the app, and you have a camera attached to your phone. You just snap, type, pull down menu, go, and it's all touchscreen. And I don't know. You
Yeah,
can do
for
it from
me.
anywhere. Like Charlie and I talked about this all the time. You can list on an airplane. You can list in a car ride on your way to grandma's house. You can list in the hospital while your mom's getting a test done. It's just you're going to the cabin for the weekend. You can bring a stack of cards for you and list at 4 a.m. It's portable. It's easy. I listed a bunch while I was at work. I listed a bunch, downstairs on the kitchen table in between others, while I'm making dinner. Like, you have to get your listings in whenever you can get them in. So try to make it as accessible as possible.
Yeah, it would be a deal breaker for me if I wasn't listening on my phone. I don't think I would have half the listings I have if I was not mobile
Same,
with it.
same. And it's free. Like, I haven't spent any money on anything to list. I mean, my phone I'm going to have anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't consider that a cost, although I do include it in my business expenses, of course. But I haven't had to buy a scanner. I haven't had to buy a listing. I haven't had to do any of that. It doesn't take up any room in my office. Simply use my phone, and I've got 33,000 listings. So clearly I've been able to do a lot in a short period of time. And that's with selling a ton. Besides, I probably have like 70,000 listings I've done in the last 3 years. But 33,000 remain, and the other 40,000, have been sold. So yeah, I don't know. Or maybe even more than that. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy when you start getting up to
And
those higher numbers. It's crazy how many cards you sell at a time.
and you have to think of your scale too. Well, the idea of a scanner sounds great. It's also an avenue to outpace your capabilities with your
Yep.
listings. So you kind of have to commit to it. Otherwise, you're probably not getting your investment back, right?
Well, and not only that, but something you and I've talked about quite a bit is you have to watch how fast you grow. The
Yeah.
biggest thing that kills a company is they go buy this company, put a product out before it's ready that they can't provide customer service for, blah blah blah. That's the thing that's going to take you down. As soon as you're listing all those listings and they sell, you got to complete those sales. Like, great, you found a fast way to list. Well, now you sold 200 cards in the day and you only have 1 hour to do it
Yeah.
because you have your full-time job and your family and all those other things. Well, now you're stuck. You probably just buried yourself. There's no way you're going to be able to do that, and your eBay standing's gonna fall. And great, you were able to list a bunch, but you couldn't complete the sales because that scanner and that listing program and all that ain't going to help you at all when you got to pull the card, pack it, and ship it. So, hey, we need a special live stream for cards under
Yeah.
66,000. We'll worry about that when we get that far. I imagine that'll take. But I was at like 29,000 listings in July when I went full time. Now I'm at almost 34. So that's what, about 1,000 a month. I guess
Yeah.
I'm going up. But that number's harder to hit each time I'm growing because I'm selling more cards too. So um, let's just take the bland basic numbers of 1,000 per month I'm gaining in listings, it's still going to take me like 33 months to get to 66. So I still have like another 3. Isn't it crazy? It's like another 3 years of listing.
I should be there in 3 years.
66,000?
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, good luck. I hope so. I hope so. All right, black Sharpie markers work okay on team bags. To be honest, they didn't work that well for me. Maybe it's because I was writing on the bag before I put the cards in it. The bag kind of crinkles, and I don't know. I didn't like it, and I thought it was hard to see. Like when you put a bunch of, multicolored cards in a bag, it's hard. It's hard to see that little bit of black, marker on the bag. So I don't know. I agree with Charlie. I'd have to do some kind of label. I kind of like the masking tape idea. It's simple. We obviously always have some laying around. You'd simply, you're packing and you're shipping, and then as you're listing, you simply pull off another piece and add it to the bag. That's probably what I would do. Plus, you could remove it from the bag if you wanted to use the bag for something else or give it a new SKU. You wouldn't have a permanent marker right on the bag. Yeah, and urethra says same thing. Masking tape and a marker. Got to be a good Sharpie and not a cheap one, or masking tape. Yep. One of the greatest players of all time, Don Mattingly, is my favorite Yankee of all time. That's
Johnny
awesome.
Baseball.
Yeah, I have nothing against Donnie Baseball. I used to put pop report info in Sharpie on the back of my slab bags, but too much work for it to change a month later. Yeah, I don't think I would do that. My 14-year-old son does drafts for me, and I give him a cut if I get a sale. Fun way to involve him and teach business skills. He is really
Yeah.
fast and at drafts. I photo and list, adjust price, etc. That's awesome. Yeah, you're right. Any way you can include your kids is a fantastic idea. Just make sure that you can afford to pay them. Make sure you have your margin. You're getting your profits enough to pay for that drafting service.
Well, who we
He might be
kidding?
making.
Your
He
kids
might
are
end
going
up
to get
making
the
more
money no
money
matter
than you.
what.
What?
Who we kidding? Your kids are going to get the money no matter what,
Yeah,
one way or
that's
another.
that's a that's a fair point. At least you're getting work out of them for it, right? I go numerically, but Charlie, I like the idea of using the date. Yeah, I like that idea too. Taking a bunch of picks to have to work on and do lists similar, then add later. Help me when working full time and listing. Yeah, exactly. Because you can do it mobile. Cool to involve your son. I'm sure he loves it as much as you. Good education. Yep. I'm part
I
time
love
seller.
having
Really.
my sons work with me on it. It's amazing.
Yeah, my daughter won't come anywhere near cards, so that's okay. Keith has joined us. Welcome, Keith. I'm a part time seller and really enjoy cards. I do make some money on the side with this, but I enjoy ripping packs as well. Do you also rip packs or only buy in order to try to make a profit? We kind of talked about this a little bit earlier on. The packs are way too overpriced, so I'll rip a few for fun here and there. I like the wild card stuff. I think there's good value in it, and it's not retail products. Um, you have to buy them directly from Wildcard. So when they throw stuff up, I'll buy stuff here and there. But yeah, I honestly don't. I really like the Skybox Metal Universe. So when that set comes out each year, I'll buy a blaster or two just because I have fun opening it. There's decent resell because it's an upper deck product, not Panini, which Panini blasters are way overpriced. Um, I really like the holiday mega box. I thought that was good value at $30. The Topps holiday baseball mega box, and you get a game used jersey card out of that, which is pretty cool. So there's a few that I feel like have decent value that I would rip, but no, I'm not. I'm not blowing my money on lottery tickets. um, so I don't rip a bunch to try to get a big hit or anything like that. So, what about you, Charlie?
Um, you know, back when I was collecting, I bought a lot of blasters. But since I've started selling, yeah, it doesn't take long to realize that, if you're looking to buy inventory, really any of the retail products are not a good buy typically. That's why we buy so much at shows. Um, but I do sometimes just miss that feeling of ripping a pack open and see what you find. So I will get one occasionally. I always tell people, they ask me, what do I want for my birthday or Christmas or whatever? Throw me some blasters. It's easy for you to pick up, and I appreciate it and enjoy it. In fact, Saint Nick brought me some of these the other night, so I had fun opening them. A lot of times, my boys and I will sit around. My wife even joins us, and we'll open a couple blasters and kind of have we'll call it a pack battle, and we'll split out all the packs and see who comes up with the best hits. When you look at it for what it is, just pure entertainment, I'll buy some now and then, but I'm not gonna buy 100 blasters to turn around and flip because I'm not gonna get my money back.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I agree. I think it's kind of like going to the casino, right? You go with your $25 or the amount you can afford to lose, and it's entertainment. Maybe you win
Yeah.
a little bit here, you lose a little bit there, have a couple drinks, and hang out with your friends or your family, whatever, and then you go home. It's like going to a restaurant, right? You don't expect to come out of there with more money. You're going there for an entertainment, experience, and
Yeah.
going to a movie, right? They're not going to pay you when you leave.
Yep.
As long as you look at it as something that you're just spending money on, without without a great potential for return, I think it's great. It's fun to do once in a while.
Even
And
a
it,
hobby box, great. You're guaranteed an auto. But who is the auto? It could be some guy who plays 30 games in the majors, gets hurt, and never plays again. Could be a Hall of Famer. You never know, right?
yeah, right.
Chances are, whoever that auto is, you could have went out and bought it as a single for less than a third of what you paid for that box.
Yeah.
And in the end, you probably don't care about 90% of all the other cards that came in that box.
Yeah. And one of the things I like about opening a box is it does give me cards that I wouldn't necessarily buy or find in a quarter box. So it
True.
does give me some things to list that I maybe wouldn't normally pick up. Especially with baseball, because I don't know the prospects. I don't follow that market much. I really like the big league product, $35 for a nice big box. Really cool inserts, fun cards. You have the chance of getting to a celebrity to or major league player following you on Instagram. Things like that. I like the Topps products more. I'm not a big fan of the Panini, which is fine because they're done in a year anyway. But I just think the stuff is so overpriced that I can't do it as a means to try to get inventory on a regular basis. But yeah, if I find a fun blaster out there, now a lot of the retail stores aren't selling the cards as well, and they're doing like half price blasters. I bought a box of last year Bowman Platinum Baseball for $17. That I think is worth it for a blaster.
Yeah.
I got an Otani parallel out of there that I sold for $12. Plus a couple of nice rookies, and you can do pretty well at those prices. But yeah, $40 for a Prism basketball box where there's really no hits. Yeah, you get a couple of low end non-serial numbered parallels, but you're gonna really have a hard time coming away with anything. Tom says he does try to always have photos to crop and upload to drafts for downtime, keeps him busy, able to list on the drafts on days too. If it's too busy to do it all. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I like about the phone. Doing all, yes, I am doing all that. Thanks. It's research that gets me. Yep.
Yeah.
Good thing about listing vintage commons is you don't need to look them up. Would be about $249 free shipping. Yep. I have like my price points for, and even vintage, I scale that up, right? So if I'm selling 1952 Bowman football cards, I charge more for a common of that than I do 1971 football, right? So my 1971 football commons, I do $299. My 1952 Bowman would be $499.
Yeah.
Right. So even you have to even step those prices down as you get to newer years for commons. Tom says he might get 10 listings done in an hour, but he's doing 90% $50 plus cards. I'm giving more than 2 picks, as many details as possible. Try to cater to those who are willing to pay a bit more. And Tom, we've talked about this before. You're exactly right. You should spend more time on cards that you're not listing as many as us. You're making probably the same profit, but you're selling less cards, so you should focus more time per card. Completely agree. I think it's worth your effort to do that. I'm selling a $2 card. I'm not putting all my time and sanity in the listing of it.
All right.
Scott says his son's really fast at drafts and his memory is crazy. When I make a sale, he can recall when and where he made the draft. That's awesome. Really up to use your time valuably and don't spend tons of time listing and comping a $1 card. Exactly. Yep. I wish I had his recall superpowers. I do on buys. I'm really good at like dollar math type stuff, so I can pretty much tell you what I paid for almost any card. Um, but as far as like what the final price was I got on it and things like that, how
Well,
many I have, something like that might be a little tougher.
these kids haven't used up their brain matter on all the useless information we have yet.
Mm. I just watched I watched a movie the other day with Scarlett Johansson. I don't know if you've seen that one, but she's like a drug mule, like forced to be a drug mule for this new
Sounds
drug, which is
familiar.
yeah, it's based on this like blue powder that is um, pregnant women get this like special enzyme or something that they have during just a couple of weeks of their pregnancy. Anyway, somebody managed to make this into like a big blue powdered bags of drugs, and they sewed it into the stomachs of these mules. And while she was being detained, someone attacked her and kicked her in the stomach, and the bag blew open. So she, took in all this drug, and like her eyes turned crazy and all that. Well, it basically unlocked an ability for her to increase her brain use. Like most humans use what,
Oh,
8% or something like that. Um, so it's kind of cool. Throughout the movie, they're like 20%, and then it kind of shows you like what she's doing while she's at 20%, taking on the bad guys, all that stuff, of course. And then at 30%, and then at 80%, she's able to like manipulate her own cells and like change shape, and she can go into computers, and like it was really super cool. Anyway, so she has a really good memory. That's the moral of that. The point of that story, I guess. I hadn't taken a loss in a couple months, but took two $20 losses this week. Ooh, but did 3x the sales, so it helped ease the pain and let go. That's the one downside to what you sell. There's going to be more fluctuation in the market. My $3, 1977 tops commons are going to be $3. They're not really going to change. And that's the whole reason I do low end, and that's the whole reason I started this channel, and I wanted to show somebody a more conservative way, because there's so much pump in the market. When everybody was getting into this, I knew a lot of people were going to be left holding the bag. Son uses the money he earns for gaming, working on getting him to save a percent that he earns. All good educational experiences for sure. Yes, Adam, I think it's easy to forget as you grow how many new sellers would love links to trusted items you use for your business, from cameras and printers to penny sleeves and team bags. Yeah, penny sleeves, I pretty much give my local card shop the business for that. You don't get much of a discount buying in bulk or ordering online, and I don't need that many at a time. I usually buy like a 500 pack, and that'll last me for a while, because a lot of my cards come sleeved already, and I don't have to put them in a sleeve.
which ones do you get though? Because
What do you mean?
our LCS usually has two different brands. I think Ultra Pro and Cardboard Gold or something like that.
So the secret to penny sleeves is to buy that Ultra Pro 4-pack, where you get
Great.
125 in each pack. So you get 500 sleeves, and they charge $4 for them. So you're
Lately, every
paying.
time I go, they're out of those though.
I don't know. I was just there and I bought a pack. So the best place I've found is out at Tim's in Luxembourg, because he has them for 50 cents less than the card shops here.
Really?
But anyway, but even at $4.50, you're still paying less than a penny for a penny sleeve. So you're not really going to get them much cheaper than that.
I will say though, in general, I'm an Ultra Pro fan. Like when I'm shopping around for stuff, I tend to favor Ultra Pro for all of my supplies.
Yeah, I really like the BCW stuff. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
I really like their card savers better with the little label on it that you can write. I think their sleeves have a little better feel to them. These are Ultra Pro, of course, because they're the cheapest that I buy. So, but they're a little slicker, and I feel like the BCWs have a little bit more. I don't know. It's more of a feel. It's more of a feel than anything else.
Yeah, and I think I saw at some of the card shows we've gone to in the last 6 months. I think there's a Wisconsin business that's been trying to push into the market called Black Diamond, maybe something like that.
Oh, yeah, could be. I'm sure anytime anybody can get into a buck, and that'd be great, because maybe we could pick up cases from them cheap or something.
Yeah,
go there and
A
get them
little
or
closer.
something. Go down to a show and then just swing by and
I remember
pick
they
stuff
had
up.
a table at that Milwaukee card show at AmFam Field,
Mhm.
and I talked with them a little bit. I'm pretty sure it was Black Diamond.
But I buy a 500 pack of sleeves and it lasts me like 2 to 3 months.
Yeah, because you're getting them in
Because
all the time too.
yeah, because most of the cards that I buy come sleeved, so I don't really need that many of them. So yeah, I don't. But anyway, I get her point. She's saying, whatever I buy, I should throw a link in there. And like I said, if you go back to my earlier videos, you'll see links in there for that stuff. And it just wasn't doing anything. And then Amazon was like, "Hey, you're not getting any clicks, so you're out." So I don't know. Just never looked back into it. But I'm leaning that way as I'm getting more. Hey, what scanner do you use? Hey, this, that. And the other thing, and the channel has grown quite a bit. So yeah, appreciate your feedback. Same thing. She says about Stewie merch. We should have Stewie merch as a
We
must.
got to do that.
Yeah, for sure. I need a Fujistu lister, not a scanner. Yeah, right. Exactly. You need the lister, not the
The
scanner.
Fuji stew.
Yeah, Fuji Stew. I like it. Fuji Stuart.
That's why he's got the goatee,
Right.
just like Mr. Fuji.
It's not because he's a goat. He doesn't have a goatee because he's a goat. I think you two should have your ladies take photos of you guys with goats at a petting zoo for merch.
We have
I
one
don't know,
nearby.
maybe riding some goats or something. Who knows?
Yes. For our luck, it'd be the fainting goats.
Yeah, the falling goats. Imagine sipping coffee from a mug of you guys hugging Stewie. We'll see. I've done a lot of merchandising over my years for different things, so it's tough. Definitely not out of the realm of possibilities. I'm trying to sell out of this other merchandising stuff that I'd been doing for a while, and as that stuff starts going away, it opens some holes, and I can start looking at some rabbit goat holes open up, so I can start looking at doing some stew and some dollar box merch. So stay tuned. It'll be happening at some point. Let's see. I am set in my ways with my laptop setup. I have tools I use such as an inventory system, photo namer, etc. I get the phone thing, but I have my laptop system down, man. Yeah, totally. I get it. I don't do much of that. I kind of use eBay to manage my inventory and my numbers and stuff like that. It's already there. I don't do spreadsheets. I don't add all that stuff. Charlie knows I do not like to work. So I'm not going to do work if the work has already been done for me. But to each his own. I get it. If you have your system, then you go with it. And that's the whole point. There's no like right or wrong to this. It's just you guys ask us questions on what we want to do or what we're doing, and we're going to give that feedback. So if you disagree with that or you do it in another way, that's totally cool. I actually used to have my PC sometimes when I get errors if I revise without auto accept on offers. Unless I take best offer off completely. I like using both since comping and checking my price paid spreadsheets. I don't do any auto accepting offers. Do you, Charlie?
I tried it once. I turned it off pretty quickly.
Yep, it's super obnoxious. I don't like it. I'll tell you a couple reasons why I do it. One, I want to know what interest is in cards currently. So I like getting those offers because I can see what's hot, especially since I don't watch sports, ironically enough. The other thing is I want to be able to entertain the offer based on the full offer from that customer. So if they're offering me on 5 different cards, like while we were sitting here, I was getting buzz, 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 buzz. I got a bunch of offers from the same buyer. Well, I'll take less money per card from that buyer because I can do a bulk sale. So I don't want to do an auto accept. I want to be able to entertain the offers as individual events. Is that a pain? Yeah, because I have to go in and look at those offers and stuff. But that's my business model. That's how I want to do it, and I want to be able to accept those in groups and then send one invoice. I don't want them to auto accept, and then I'm not looking at it, so they don't invoice, and then they pay for each one separately. And like, there's just too much for what we're doing, what we're selling. I don't think it's Now for you, Tom, it might work because you're doing a little bit more expensive items and probably getting a lot more individual sales than like 10 or 15 card sales. But I agree with Charlie. I did some auto accept stuff early on, and it was a pain. It didn't work right, and I just totally got rid of it, and I haven't used it since. If I got to 66K listings, I'd be like 3.3 million in inventory. Bring it. Yeah, I'm at. Well, mine would still be pretty high because I'm at like 370, and I'm at 33,000 listings. So let's just assume it would double. So 370,000 doubled would be what
740.
740. Yeah, so almost 750,000. So, but yeah, you're doing higher dollars. So of course, your inventory would be worth more. TCG, like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, One Piece, Arcana, fun to open packs since it gets a little more value from the packs and can play the games.
Sure.
Makes sense. I could see how that would be fun. We don't do much of the gaming stuff on this channel, so I have a little bit of Pokemon on my list. I actually got some One Piece cards in a non-sport lot that I bought that I have to list, and I've kind of looked a couple of, I don't know anything about them. I've looked a few of them up, and they actually sell pretty well, so kind of excited about that. Lorcana, I know, was super hot early, but way overprinted, so I don't think I'm going to get into any of that at this point. But yeah, all those are definitely things that sell and have demand. So I buy spots on DigiBreaks for fun and whatnot. Definitely overpaying per card, but it's for my entertainment. I don't go to the movies or casino, so I do that for fun. Yeah, absolutely. Nothing wrong with that. And you can get return. You can, I mean, I really like the Metal Universe we were just talking about, so I buy a few blasters of that. I bought a blaster for $30 at Walmart, and I pulled an auto that I sold on the way home from the store for $65. So you can definitely come out ahead, even on, was it $30 for those blasters? Were they 39? No, 30. I think they were 30, $29.99, right? You bought some Metal Universe, didn't you?
Yeah, I think they're $29.99.
Yeah, because they're not Panini, so they're not quite as expensive. I see them still hanging out at Walmart. I'm just hanging around because as soon as they drop them to 17, I'm going to buy all of them.
Yeah,
because I sell a lot of Metal Universe stuff. It's got weird stuff in it. It's got I sold a boxer card this week. A couple of they've got the cool looking parallels. The inserts are neat. Like it's cool stuff. Any sealed is gamble and should be expected to get 0.1% on your return. Yeah, for sure. Thanks for the info. I work literally across the street from Cards Infinity card shop, and I sometimes help them sort breaks, etc. But I always end up giving in and buying something. Yeah, shops kind of do that to you. I would have little self-control in that situation. Yeah, I would too. If I go to the shop, I think a lot of people think that I'm constantly at these shops and buying stuff, and that's not true at all. We have two really good local shops and one that's kind of local, about 20 minutes out of the way, and very rarely go to any of them. So I'll if I haven't bought in a while or I'm not going to be able to get to a show in a while, I'll go, hey, I'm going to go dig through the dollar boxes at this place. I haven't been there in a while, and I always buy pretty much. More limited because the prices aren't quite as good with their overhead and stuff. But yeah, if I walk in there, I'm going to buy something. So I don't walk in there very often.
never walk out empty-handed, right?
Nope. And most of the time, like when I went to, the one over here this week, I needed sleeves. So I went and bought my pack of sleeves, and then I dug through the singles, and I found a bunch of really good vintage stuff. I sold a bunch of those vintage cards already too, so good flip out of those. And then I went through. You had told me that he had dropped his dollar boxes to 50 cents, so I bought a bunch of stuff out of there. Had sold a few of those. I didn't even have time to go through them all, so I should probably pop back there at some point. But yeah, so that's good enough for me. I'll be back in a couple months when I need more sleeves, essentially.
Yeah.
I really want to get out to another show at Tim's because I like the shop out in Luxembourg, but
Yeah.
the show is just not good anymore. Last time I went, I literally bought nothing. It was the first time ever at a card show I didn't find something to buy. Not a single card. Bought a few things out of the shop. He had some non-sport singles I had bought. I bought that box of the Yo MTV wraps. Bought some sleeves because, again, he's the cheapest price I've ever seen. So I bought a couple packs of the 500 sleeves, and I left it at that. So
Yeah, when I was out there, I was still working on building up a lot of inventory, and that really set the foundation for my NASCAR cards, and was my first entry in F1 too. So, and now I'm becoming an F1 freak.
yeah, it sounds like it. You got quite a set of inventory. I don't have much F1. It doesn't do that well for me, and I don't know. I'm not that interested in it, so I have other things that I need to pick up that I can resell. So
Yeah.
you gotta find your little spots, right? If we all did the same thing, none of us would make any money. So you do your NASCAR, I'll do my Sonic the Hedgehog, and we'll all be successful.
And then we'll still fight over the Goonies.
No, the Goonies are mine, but nice try though. Oh, I just sold a Goonies card today, by the way.
Of course you
Six
did.
dollars, $6.50 for one card. Nice. I won a box of 1994 Fleer Ultra Football a month ago, and one Sunday couldn't resist, ripped it. 36 packs, $45. Pulled some sweet Hall of Fame rookies. Might submit Jerome Bettis, Strahan. Yeah, that's actually better stuff to buy.
Yeah.
Because it's already kind of on its downswing, and it's fun older products. If you get pop a couple of decent inserts, 90s stuff for inserts is great. 45 a box actually seems a little high for that, but I guess that's just where wax is now. Fall for the lure of ripping. Yeah, I think we all do. It brings you back to childhood. It's fun. It's that what could be. There's a reason that the card manufacturers sells them in blind packaging, right? And think about it. Like, Charlie, your kids are a little bit older now, but think about how many toys now are packaged in blind packaging, right? You have
Yeah.
all these little miniature things, these Funko things, these keychain things. They were all looking at baseball cards like, what are we doing? Why are we selling this toy where, okay, we got 5 different characters, but only one of the characters sells, the rest sit on a shelf. Why don't we blind package them all?
Yeah.
And then add a chase figure in there, one that's gold or one that, has a different weapon or, whatever it is. Yeah, much more opportunity for money that way for them, the maker. Think about trying buy sports cards for my lower end, since they have no seller fees and have promotions where they pay you to list. Really? But not sure if worth risking time, but we'll let you know how it goes. Absolutely. I would look into that. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to write this down. I'll look into it
Yeah. I've
tomorrow.
been seeing more
'Cause
advertising for.
I've been looking at, and we should probably talk about this anyway. I've been looking at maybe sending some stuff to ComC, just to have like a day trading platform where I could sell stuff and use the money right away and not pay shipping and and do that and just kind of build up. But maybe this site would be an option for that. Now back to the ComC thing. They did just make a deal with eBay. I don't think it's going to change the environment for any of us in particular, because I believe all they're going to be able to do is take what you send to ComC and list on eBay for free, which essentially, if you have a store, you're listing for free anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's really going to change anything. And ComC charges you 50 cents per card to send it to them. So that's way higher than eBay fees on a $1.50 card, even if you're promoting it. And I don't know if you've looked at ComC's feedback on eBay, but it's not very good. And if you buy one card from them, it's $4.95 to ship it. So the shipping is really high and it takes forever. You can buy a card from them and you're looking at like 2 weeks before you're going to get the thing. So if you're looking at it to try to obtain like physical cards, it's not a very good website to use, in my opinion. So don't fluctuate very much. Luxury versus necessity, and yeah, cards are a necessity for many. I mean, it's a hobby. It's like anything else, right? People want to put money into it. MD Sports Cards has joined us. Welcome back to the show. You've jumped on it pretty late tonight. Good evening, gentlemen. I just got home. Gentlemen again. What the heck is up with that?
Yeah, what's up with that?
It's like you people don't even know us. I just got home from a collection buy. Ultra Pro, much higher quality for supplies. Buy it by the case, best price. If you're in the business of sports cards, should be buying by case anyways. I don't use that many, so I'm not going to bother with that. Triple diamond supply stuff sucks in my opinion.
Is that who it was? Triple Diamond?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never used any of it. Needed sleeves at a show on a table selling those for $2 per pack. Yeah, I wouldn't pay that. And I used about 20 and threw the rest out. Nope, I wouldn't do that either. Scott says, I always wondered if most dealers at shows just don't prefer to sell online versus in person. Seems to me being a seller at a show is way harder. Guess it's a quick way to move more volume quicker. A couple different reasons to sell at a show. Okay. First of all, it's less work per se. If you're just doing like when Charlie and I do a show, it's like, here's a bunch of cards or a quarter a piece. Don't have to mark them all individually. Don't have to take photos, list them, ship them, do all that. It's also there also aren't expenses, so you don't have eBay fees. Other than your table fee, um, somebody buys 4 quarter cards for $1, you get $1, and that's the end of it. So there's an advantage to that. The local connection, you get to work with some of your local buyers. I'm sure I'm speculating, but I'm sure some dealers do it because they don't have to. If they're doing cash transactions, they maybe aren't reporting some of it, so they can save on the tax side. Um, so yeah, I'm guessing that's the motivation behind doing the in person. And just simpler. You come up, you but want this card. You hand me a $5 bill. I hand you the card. Done. End of transaction. So now I've argued against this model for quite a while too, in that you're not going to have nearly as many eyes looking at what you have to sell. You're going to have to do this bargaining stuff right in person. There's a lot of labor involved, like physical labor involved, and meaning you got to load up your boxes, you got to drive them there, you got to set up your tables, you got to pack everything back up, go back home. You got to spend an entire day at a show where maybe you don't even hardly make any money because you don't have a clue what kind of buyers are going to come in for the most part. If you've been a dealer for a while and you have a lot of stuff to sell, you're probably going to do okay at most shows. But yeah, so I think that's kind of I think there are people who like to just do business in person, and there are other people who just want to do everything on the internet and use their own time to do whatever else they want to do on a Saturday versus committing to a show. What do you think?
First of all, breaking news: the Yankees just acquired Juan Soto.
Yeah, that's not shocking.
I would expect a little bump with the Yankees.
I think that was kind of
market.
expected, wasn't it?
I don't know. I hadn't
lost Charlie. Did we lose you?
No, I'm here.
Oh, weird. You froze for a second.
I haven't heard anything about anybody but Showtime recently, even though
He didn't sign with anybody yet, did he?
No, and they're supposed to keep everything hush hush. So it's like the most underwhelming free agency cycle ever. But still in the news cycles, everybody's talking about him, right? But
right.
but
yeah, I just got the
Soto,
message too.
Yeah. So, but as far as selling at a show, I like where Scott's going there. Like for low end, it's a quick way to move more volume. Um, you know, if I was selling higher end cards, um, boy, it's tough to match online selling and the reach you get. versus
Yeah.
at a show you're waiting for just this one perfect person to come along that wants that card. So I think there's something to what you said about it's just the camaraderie, it's the environment that they want to be in, the relationships they build. It is amazing. You see the same dealers all the time at these shows.
I do think it's kind of important to do a little of both.
Yeah,
If you're looking to run a business. So for me, it's important for me. Like you guys, if you're doing it as a side hustle or whatever, do whatever you want. But for me, it's good to make sure I make those connections out there. I've bought collections that way. I have a buyer who likes some of my higher end cards and he likes to do that in person, which again can save me some fees and stuff. And it allows me to move some stuff that I can't sell online. So I think I get my business cards out there, talk about my YouTube channel. I video stuff, so I get content out of it. So I think it's smart to do a little of each. Now that being said, so when people say, "Oh, you don't have the eBay fees. eBay is such a ripoff," blah blah blah. First of all, it's not. It's the greatest open market in the world. Um, but you're going to have a price per card when you pay a table fee. If you go to a show and you're paying a $50 table fee and you're trying to sell 25-cent cards and you sell $200 worth of cards, you had a 25% cost in selling those cards because you spent $50 on, or excuse me, not 25%. That's 12.5%, right? Because 25 versus, that's if it's a $25 table show. If you do the bigger shows where you're probably going to sell more, you're going to pay $50 to $70 for a table. By the way, you do a $200 show. Let's say $50 for the table. Is that what I said at first? Was $50?
you said 50, yeah.
Okay, that's where that threw me off. I'm like, how did I do my math wrong? But anyway, you sell $200 worth of cards. You got a $50 table fee. You've got 25% cost in each one of those cards you sold. So, yeah. So if you sold that card you sold 4 cards for $1, you still paid 25 cents in fees to get that dollar. And you shouldn't be paying really 25% when you sell a card on eBay. So I think you have to price a little lower at a local card show,
Yep.
because people are going to be expecting to pay less since it's not eBay. And you want to do that to be able to move some stuff because you only have whatever eyes are there on Saturday to try to sell to. So yeah, for what I sell, I don't think doing a lot of card shows makes a lot of sense. And I don't want to work every Saturday. I'd rather work during the week and deal with the online stuff. I was even telling Charlie this past weekend I had like 196 orders from Friday through Sunday, and he's like, "You're gonna have to work the weekends," and I'm like, "Nope, not gonna do that. I'll work a longer Monday. I'm fine with that. I'll get them all shipped. And on the weekends, if I get up early and stuff, and I don't have anything going on, I'll come pull some cards and get a little bit of stuff done ahead of time to prep for Monday. But if I wanted to work every Saturday, I'd do a card show every Saturday. That would be a better way more fun way to spend my time, working. But so I like our quarterly show in Green Bay. It's a great show. It's easy to get to, good parking, easy to get your cards in and out. There's an elevator. Great turnout. There's always a lot of good shoppers. We got a really nice spot that we just have as our regular spot, so everybody knows where we are. I like the show promoter. Really easy guy to work with. So, other than there's no food, that's kind of a problem there. Outside of that, he does offer the soda now. He'll buy soda for all the dealers and stuff, for water. But
I think there were some hot dogs down there. Oh, you're talking about Tim's right now?
no, I'm talking about the
No.
KI.
I think there was hot dogs there and stuff the last time.
Really?
Yeah, there wasn't a big selection, but it was further down.
Okay. And there was somebody at the show selling them, or what?
No, it was down the hallway.
Oh, interesting. But yeah, anyway, I don't know. I don't think so. Your last comment here, quick way to move more volume quicker. I don't necessarily believe that's true. unless you're selling at like a huge discount, so like you're selling to guys like us.
Yeah.
Um, and if that's where you're at, that's where your sales, model is great. That's not mine. That I'm a buyer in those situations. That's why I go to a lot of shows, but I'm a buyer, because that's opportunity for me as a reseller. But when I'm trying to sell to the end user, card shows aren't quite as successful.
Yeah, and I guess that's how I took that one too. If I'm a higher end seller and I've got, all these cards that are valued at $3 or less, it's an opportunity for me to sell a couple thousand of them at a card show, right?
Yeah, like our guy that does the 10-cent boxes, right, in Green Bay. And
Yeah.
he's got some nice stuff in there. He's got parallels of, Hall of Famers and things like that. Stuff you'll easily pay 10 cents a piece for.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. He just wants that's bulk. It's in the way.
He
He
doesn't want to
makes the
put time
money.
into it.
Yeah, he makes the money on the bigger cards in the collection and then sells all that stuff to move price to move, and recovers his investment there. And then the rest of the stuff that he wants to sell and how he deals, he'll get his money on that stuff. So
Yeah.
you have to decide where you are in the market, like what you want to sell. You guys ever think eBay will have any significant competition in the future? Seems like eBay has embraced being a site for trading cards. They come out with more and more enhancements. No, I don't believe anybody will be able to compete with eBay. They've just got such a big hold. It's a world market. I sell more and more cards that ship internationally now. They've got the authentication program that takes care of potential returns, and they've just covered a lot of the loopholes that you see in some of the other auction sites. So to me, they're the place. Now you have your other places, your other websites that have their place, whatnots and things like that, but that's a different type of platform.
I think there'll be people who try to take on eBay. Whether they'll be successful or
There
not is another
there
story.
has been for like 35 years,
Yeah, like they'll keep
So,
coming.
yep. There'll be other auction sites. There'll be, it's not like other places won't have market share, but they will not be able to measure up to the eBay size. They're just way too. They've been doing it way too long. They're too huge. Their systems are good now. We had issues this summer where they were moving some stuff around to their own servers and it was problematic, but they should be in a good spot now. And you're right, they're coming out with more and more innovations, more and more enhancements. And I believe they started the AI and they're using it for the description field, for us, but we're basically helping them. So we're using that description field. It's feeding back into the AI. And eventually you'll be able to just take a picture of a card and it's going to go blam, here's everything, list. You won't need scanners and you won't need, well, I guess scanners is the photo side, but you won't need turbo listing program. You won't need any of that stuff. Be able to just take the shot right in eBay and be done with it. Johnny M415 has joined us. Good evening, all. Good evening, Johnny. At least he did not call us gentlemen. Smart move. Good evening, Johnny. I know we've talked about this before, but wanted to ask if you promote right away when you list. I was thinking maybe not promoting till 30 days in when I sell similar. That's a good plan. I do it sooner than that. So I list and it's usually about 2 weeks or so. If I don't have any good offers or sales, I will then promote. Sometimes it depends for me on price too. So if I list like a $500 card, I want as long as possible a shot to get a sale on that before I'm giving like $50 of that sale to eBay on top of what I already have to pay them. If it's a $2 to $3 card, I don't really care about 15 cents.
Yeah.
If I got to pay that to get the sale out of it. So that's kind of how I do it. Waiting a month, and then when you do sell similar, adding on promotions, it's not a bad approach. That could work. I think.
Yeah, I tend to wait more for that month. So when I go kind of once a week, I'll go through my listings and sort them by oldest listing. And when they hit, more than a month old is kind of where I've been caught up to.
Mhm.
I'll just take 50 of them at a time and end and sell similar and reboot them.
Now, keep in mind the way I price my cards, I have those costs priced in. I am not low budget price. So I have it priced in that on a like you someone talked about earlier, these commons you sell at 249. I sell them at 299. So if I sell that card and it's got a promoted listing and all that stuff, I have 50 cents there to pay for all those things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's how I choose to do it. Okay. Average Dave's cards. There's definitely some retail out there that has a high floor, like anything, got to do your research. Yeah. And I'm not that interested in researching boxes and wax and what inserts come in it and this and that. I'd rather wait until I can get through my value boxes at shows and somebody else ripped it all and I can dig through it and then buy the cards that I know I can resell for a profit. That's where I focus. Bill says he had about 75 of those commemorative helmet patch cards Topps put in blasters last year. Best way to go about shipping these, they're a little over an ounce, but thick. Bubble mailer.
Yeah, I find
if they're too thick, if they're too thick to ship in a card saver, or a slightly bigger top load, then no, you're going to have to ship it as a package. So you're definitely, why put it in an envelope at that point? You might as well use a bubble mailer. You should be getting your bubble mailers free from eBay anyway. So
yeah, you got to go. I find you got to go ground advantage with them. So either a bubble mailer or a small box.
Yep. Options to just pick the set and player and auto populate. So all the rest you do supposedly is pretty seller friendly. Have shipping options and buyers have to spend at least $3 to check out. I think he's referring to that other
buy sports cards.
Website, buy sports cards ones. Yeah, I'll check that one out. I haven't looked at that yet, so I'll look into it too, and maybe we can discuss a little bit of that next week. What metal universe do you like to sell? All of it. I like to sell anything I can get my hands on. So the Skybox Metal Universe is a set that comes out each year. It has Jordan cards in it, which is the biggest draw because Jordan can't be in any other products. But also Tiger and Wayne Gretzky, all those guys have lifetime deals with Upper Deck. So it's an opportunity to get some of those players' cards. They're not licensed with teams and stuff, so they don't have their helmets and that that on, but they're more like laid back shots, right? So it's like Trevor Lawrence in a pair of jeans, like about to throw a ball. And he's got like a button down shirt on. So I just dig them. I think they're cool. Fleer Metal, 1997 Fleer Metal was the best sports card set ever made in the history of sports cards, in my opinion. So anything that can kind of replicate that and provide that type of look, type of art style in a card, that's something that I want. So yeah, $50 and 200. I caught myself. I don't know why I changed it to $25 a table, but a lot of tables a lot of shows around here, that's what the price is 25. The show Charlie and I do is 50 because it gets a little bit better exposure. Yeah, bigger location, things like that. Johnny says although buy sports cards has no seller fees, they do have a payment processing fee of 3.4 plus 30 cents. So if you did $2, you'd have 3.4% would be 6 cents. Almost 7 cents plus 30 cents. So you'd have 37 cents on a $2 chart. That's fine. That's in the wheelhouse of pretty much anybody. They have a ton of cards listed for $1 with free shipping. Yeah, heck, maybe I'll buy on there. Who knows? Check them out tomorrow. I did not have much free time today. I did upload a video today. Thank you to everyone who did watch it. Charlie, I know you don't watch my videos, but maybe it's one you'd want to check out. So it's about holiday sales. We're like 2 hours into this, so you haven't even talked about our topics really, other than the one that people.
We had topics. I thought we were just going to go down a rabbit goat hole.
Well, Peter wanted to talk about the categories thing, so we did take care of that pretty well. I wanted to talk a little bit about holiday sales, but maybe we kind of. I just put out a video about that. Go watch that. Then you don't have to worry about adding it into the topics tonight. But anyway, now I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I spent my day. I had TDS construction here today. They were trenching my lines so that I can get fiber internet. And of course, all the notes that I gave my salesperson about where I wanted this thing run didn't get to any of them. So I'm out there, the guy's walking in my backyard, and I'm like, and I see him on my camera. I'm like, we're not doing anything in the backyard. He's like, what? This is where I'm supposed to hook up from this pod. But none of them speak English. So I'm trying to tell this guy in some broken English, a little bit of Spanish that I know, and trying to instruct him, no, you need to go to the front of the house. We got a trench from here to here, and you want to make sure these directions get correct, right? Because he's going to dig in my yard. And he has to go under my driveway and all this stuff. But anyway, that was my that's how I spent my little bit of free time today.
So not that much different than Spectrum after all.
not on that part of it anyway. I don't know when the install person's coming. I haven't gotten that message yet, but yeah. So, but I'm excited. Fiber is going to be awesome. Twice the speed for download and like 200 times the speed or 500 times the speed for upload, which will make taking photos and listing auctions really quick. So I might be able to do a 20-second upload video in the near future. We'll see. Any other modern stuff like blasters you like to buy if the price is right? When I was at Target, I just walked away. It was a lot of unlicensed baseball product, Chronicles, Donruss, etc. Yeah, I don't like most of the product. I love the baseball big league.
Archives.
I love Archives is pretty good. I don't really buy it, but I do like it. I love Allen and Ginter or Goodwin champions.
Yeah.
Those are fun. They have different actors and different sports and stuff in them. I love the Sport Kings, where they have the regular cards and then the minis and different colored backgrounds, stuff like that. The Skybox Metal Universe. I'll buy a couple blasters usually a year of the main products. I might buy a Prism Blaster or I like Chronicles Football because it's licensed and you get all those different sets in it. Lots of rookies.
I've grabbed some Merlin soccer.
I love the soccer products. The hits are bad, and there's a lot of players that don't have hobby, so you're gonna be sitting on a lot of cards too. But if you can get a couple of decent name players, soccer cards sell really well and for really good prices. Like you can sell a Messi base card for like $6 or $7. It's crazy. You can't do that with a Brady base card right now. On a brand new brand is like $2. If you're comparing goat to goat, to goat, then you're looking at $2 for a Brady, but you can get like $6 or $7 for a Messi. Buy Sports Cards doesn't have much traffic, hence why they're paying us to list. But there are some sellers who've done well. They don't require photos for lower value cards. I like photos though. I don't know. I'll check them out tomorrow and maybe I'll do a video on it. We'll see. But I'm interested. Sounds interesting. However, they pay more for listings with photos and you'll sell your cards faster if you use your own photos. Yeah, I would use photos. Doesn't take long. I use my phone. Cooter says, use your phone.
That's a shirt.
Yeah, Cooter. I gotta have the Cooter here with the goat in the background. Have a piece of straw hanging out my mouth, my fancy hairdo. Yeah, it could get weird. It could get weird. We'll see. We could do patches. We could do our own trading cards. I've made my own trading cards before. They're pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have any laying around here right now. I could show you. But yeah, I do Star Wars costumes. I have trading cards of me in different costumes. It's got all my data info and stuff on it. They're pretty cool. So we could do some goat live cards or something. Rabbit goat hole cards. Yeah, always a processing fee to get your money out on a site that offers no listing fees. ComC is pretty on par with eBay because of theirs. Right, but they don't get the traffic that eBay does. That's the big difference. All right, Peter says he's been promoting everything right away, but find that some cards sell like right away, like right away. And it always bothers me that I could have sold the card regular without promoting. Exactly. That's why you don't necessarily know what's going to sell right away, but just listing something new gets extra eyes on it anyway. So that's why it's kind of been my practice. I'll list for like a week or two, and then I'll go through my listings that haven't been promoted, and I'll just throw promoted on it, try to move it. It's for me, it's all about the volume game. I need income because I do this for a living, and having the cards sit there doesn't really do me any good. I'd rather pay the 10 cents extra to eBay and get the thing gone and ship it out, and then add more cards and then sell those, and then add more cards and then sell those. Yeah. What was I thinking? All right. I have never been on Whatnot. I was talking to a dealer last night weekend. He said he got a bunch of $1 deals to sell. I thought, interesting. So to sell on Whatnot, I've been approved as a seller on Whatnot, and I only ever did one show. And you really have to like build an audience, because if people don't tune into your show and you've got like 2 people logged in to see it, and you're, hey, I've got this card and it starts at $1, no one bids on it, then like you could just be wasting a lot of your time. And it's live, so it's not like you have to try to pick good time slots when people could actually watch, and like I don't know, it's tough when you're trying to sell $1 cards, I think. But it's quick because it's you as a buyer, you have to put all your payment information in and stuff like that. So you go 1 minute on this card, $1. Okay, that minute's up. $1 sold. 1 minute, $1. Okay, sold. So you can sell, a couple hundred cards.
Very attentive to it, though.
In an hour, yeah. If you're good on live on camera and can talk something up and get a sale out of it, or like I said, you build an audience and you got regular buyers. Yeah. So the other problem I have with Whatnot is they don't have a standard envelope shipping type option. It's always packaged. So you got a buyer who only wants this one card and you're asking $1 for it. Well, you might be able to sell it for $1, but now they got to pay like $4.95 to ship it.
Right. So
that buyer's only going to want to participate if, hey, there's 3 or 4 cards I want. Okay, I'll do that. And then it's $4, because you can combine the shipping, but I don't know. Bill wants to know if Goodwin Champions have any resale value. Isn't Jordan in those? Yes, that's an Upper Deck product as well, and there are Jordan cards in there, and LeBron and stuff like that, and they do sell okay. They're not as good as the Metal Universe or the Allen and Ginter or the Sport Kings, in my experience. But I'll buy them here and there. If I find cool Goodwin Champions cards, I'll pick them up.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a lot of it yet.
Buy sports cards as a standard envelope, 80 cents compared to 63. Weird. I wonder why it's 80. But still, as was mentioned, the customer needs to spend $3, including shipping, in order to check out. So they can't buy just one card unless it's $3. Okay. Interesting. Their platform has some really interesting rules to it. I'll have to check it out. Asked if they would expand to non-sports, as I love their platform layout, but the owner just wants to keep it sports cards only. Well, that's kind of a deal breaker for me.
Well, they call it buy sports cards.
Right. Yeah, I get it. But as far as like moving to that platform entirely, no, I wouldn't. I would still obviously have to do eBay. I gotta stop checking my honey hole, so I have bill money left for the end of the month. Too many good deals. Yeah, there's always something to buy, that's for sure. It was a good video today. I watched it. See, Charlie? See? People watch them and they like them.
I watched it as well.
Oh, did you? What'd you think?
I didn't finish
First
it.
time viewer, everybody.
I didn't finish it.
What? See,
Every
that's what I'm talking
so
about.
I was actually trying to watch it before the show while I was doing some stuff, but it became a busy time of night down here in the basement by my office. Mom was down here, the boys were down here getting stuff, and there's all kinds of commotion. I couldn't hear anything, so I had to shut it off.
Are you gonna go back and finish it?
I would hope so.
Awesome. Fan for life, right? Fan for life. I didn't even put Derek Jeter in it. I'm like, I'm gonna have Charlie watch this one, so I'm not putting Derek Jeter in it, so he'll watch it.
Oh yeah, it was your sales video where there was plenty of Jeter the other day.
There's
Yeah, watch
always
that one. Yeah.
Jeter's a good seller. I was thinking of doing a sales day video tomorrow too. I don't know. We'll see. Kind of brought that one back by popular demand, so try to continue that one. Let's see, Tom. I'm using the spend before year ends tax purpose as an excuse right now. Yeah, get rid of some of that income, right? Add to your expenses or add to your cost of goods. I end up spending $350 of $100 budget. Thank goodness for spendable funds. Oh yeah, because you can turn around and use your eBay income money and spend it right away too.
Yeah.
They made that real convenient, didn't they? That's what I've heard. Urethra and take losses on this year's buys if I can write it off. But not tax advice, right? Right. I'm also not a CPA. Perfect. Got my first LeBron rookie, Sky's the Limit rookie for $25. Love that card. I have a few of those, and I agree they are cheaper than they should be. Really cool card. Reminds me of some of the older Jordan cards. Yeah, I picked those up. I've probably got 7 or 8 of them now myself. I think the most I had to ever pay, $25 is actually pretty good. I think I've paid like 40 maybe for one during a little bit more of the boom time. But yeah, those are great long-term investment. I agree. Grade worthy. Yep. They can be. Most of the ones I've gotten were in really good condition. So keep your JPEGs organized by Teambag on a flash drive.
Man, we've talked a lot
That's
about
fun.
teabagging tonight.
That's
I didn't
fun.
expect that.
Anything is possible, Charlie. Yes, Adam, whatnot competition is fierce. There are a lot of card sellers on there trying to sell dollar cards at the same time. Yeah, maybe I could start to grow it on there because I have some social media presence with the channel, and I'm at almost 900 followers in my card store now. I just checked on that tonight because I'm going to send a coupon tomorrow, a new coupon. So I have a pretty good eBay following, but I don't know. I don't really want to keep scheduling live shows and try to. I sell so many cards through eBay. Like I don't really know that I need to do it that way, and I can get more money for them on eBay. So, because if you go in with a bunch of dollar cards and you start it at $1, they're gonna sell for $1. Like you're not gonna. There isn't gonna be a bidding war on it. So. She's considered selling on there. I was speaking from a buyer perspective on Whatnot, as in maybe some good deals there. Yeah, absolutely. I think it would be fun to buy on. I haven't done it myself because I like bulk. But yeah, I could see how it's fun to shop on there. It's a live auction, man. That's cool. That's fun.
There's excitement on that. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. If I was 20 years younger and my girls were 20 years perkier, I'd probably be on Whatnot selling with my bubbly personality. You have to hold them up a little bit,
Yeah.
Get out that what do they call that? The raise up bra thing. I was thinking of just using it for my lower end, so I'm not using my free good eBay views. In your case, sure, because you don't really low end isn't really your thing. I could see you using a different platform to just kind of clear them out. I always watch, listen because I have notifications on. Don't always remember everything if doing something attention intensive, but always a good listen. Appreciate it. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate you. See, Charlie, he watches too. One of these days you're going to hate me. You're going to be like, I'm not doing this stupid show anymore. Just razzing. I know you watch. I appreciate you.
I do watch as much as I can.
I know you do. And you are a busy dude, so I get it. We want those sales day videos. Yeah, so I've been told. I definitely am not going to do them every day like I was for a little while. I just way too many orders some days, and I got to get listings done. And I know Bo does like a morning show daily and things like that. I don't know that I want to get to that point, to be honest with you. And you can tell we're getting to the end. I'm fading into the background here, but to be honest with you, the sales day videos do take some work. There is editing. I got to add in the cut from the eBay sale and things like that. So try to save it for like I haven't put out a video in a bit, whatever. Or if I have really interesting sales that I have something to talk about along with them. So that's kind of how I'm going to do it going forward, just to give you an idea. Reminds me of 96 SP or 97. Yeah, I think he's referring to the Skybox cards, right? The Skybox Metal Universe. So they're like 96. Team bagging is better than teabagging.
Oh, we're talking about team bagging? My mistake. I misunderstood it all night.
I don't know that I want to be entirely team bagged either. So, team bagging to open a rabbit goat hole. Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't take much to open that rabbit goat hole.
Nope, it's ever inviting. That's for sure. I agree, Cooter. You could do whatnot if you wanted to, but you're doing great on eBay as it is. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to feel like I have the audience. I don't know that I want to go on there and build an audience. That sounds like work, and I don't want to do work. I'd have to feel like I have the audience there, and then I would go there to sell. Like, I stopped doing the sales day videos. You guys are like, what the hell are you doing? Put out sales day videos. Okay, I'll do sales day videos because I have an audience. You know what I mean? Like if I feel like I had an audience for a bunch of $1 cards, I might go on there and sling some of those and get them done. But I don't know. Also, Whatnot has a really bad payout schedule. Like they have to clear the payments and then you get paid at a later date and blah, blah, blah. And I get paid from eBay every day and I like that. So I don't know. Oh, Wonder Bra. That's it. That's what I was thinking of. Push-up bra. That's actually what I was thinking of. Push-up bra. But I think that's basically the same thing. Only no because I was told I needed one as a teenage boy. I had a good handful back then. Oh. What happened to our show, Charlie?
I blame Stuart.
What have we done? And I'd like to get some of that weight back. Sounds like you went in the other direction in a hurry. Let's see. You made it to the top of the YouTube feed. Just appreciate the candor, acknowledge, and relaxed style you both bring. I listen to 1 Million Cubs too, because a lot of fluff about random stuff I skip to the end. Yeah, I kind of do that too. He's like a radio guy, so he like his and he's hosting it by himself, which is actually a lot harder than you think it is, right, Charlie?
Yeah, it is.
So I think he feels like he has to talk about himself. Like that's kind of how he gets it going. Like he's having a conversation with himself to some degree. But yeah, no, Bull's an awesome dude. You should definitely watch his channel. He's got good stuff. He's got it very knowledgeable. Team bagging, tea bagging, fun with friends. Really, really close friends. I mean, you just can't go back after that. Like that's a no turning point.
Nope.
No turning back point, I guess. Got to get a guest spot on Bo's morning show to plug your whatnot, and you'd have a nice boost to your audience. Yeah, he hasn't invited me on his show. I was going to. I hadn't heard back from him. He was kind of busy that day, but when Charlie couldn't do the show due to illness, I was going to have Bo co-host with me that night. It didn't work out, so I did it by myself, which was kind of a fun adventure. Gave me a good respect for those who do the shows on their own, for sure. But his audience isn't that much bigger than mine. He's got like 3,500 subs. I've got like 1,800 subs. So, I mean, yeah, he's twice the size of me, but he's not like ginormous, right? You know. So I don't know how much more whatnot I would gain off, because he doesn't do whatnot either. Somebody just sent me an offer, $7 free shipping for 50 Beavis and Butthead base cards. Easy accept? I wouldn't. I'll give you $7 for 50 Beavis and Butthead base
that's
cards.
a lot of cards for $7.
Yeah, let me know. With free shipping besides, I'll buy those. Please don't sell them to him, send them to me. So yeah, I list my Beavis and Butthead cards at $2.99 a piece. Based on quantity, I'd give some discount, but for 50 cards, I'd probably do like $80 or $100. I wouldn't go down to $7 personally, but it's up to you. I don't know what you paid for them either, so that might be a good profit for you, but it wouldn't be for me. I wouldn't sell them for that. Haha, know that feeling, Bill, getting too many $20 offers on $80 cards after I sent out a $50 offer. Yeah. Offers come in at low balls. I've had cards where I listed at $100 and I get an offer of like $2. Like, there's no way you're taking that. If I don't feel like the offer is serious at all, I'll just decline it. If it's generally, most offers will come in at like 50%. So if you're asking $5 for a card, you might get like $2.50 or a $3 offer. You can counter back at $4 or something like that. Try to meet in the middle. But yeah, it's part of the deal. Everybody's going to throw you little ball offers from time to time.
I feel like the standard offer I've been getting recently is
$1.
50% off the list price.
Yep.
So
whatnot can be good for $1 cards if you have a built-in buyer base, since people bid against each other, but also could be shills because here that can be an issue of some shady sellers on Whatnot. Yeah, that's the other thing. Whatnot kind of has a bad reputation. I don't know if I want to really be involved with them right now. I know they pay a lot of bigger YouTube channels to promote them and give them free stuff to sell on Whatnot. You know, I know they're investing into it, but I don't know. I don't know that it's for me at this point. We'll see. Live auction selling might be the future. I don't know. But even my own shopping preference, I'd rather go on eBay and just search lots of cards that I like, you know, that I might want to buy, and just doing it that way. I don't know that I want to be on a live show and have to sit there until my item comes up that I want to buy and stuff. I don't know. Have you ever shopped on Whatnot, Charlie?
I haven't made a purchase. I've shopped around a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I meant I'm trying to buy them. Oh, buy 50 Beavis and Butthead cards for $7 free shipping. Yes. And if you don't want them, send me the link. I will purchase them. I will block some extra insulting lowball offers like $2 on 100. Yeah, you can do that. My block list grows every few weeks. It happens. Sorry, it's late. I meant a seller offered me the cards for $7. Yes, take those. Why not then? Bill, snatch them up. See, everybody says buy them. Don't sell Beavis and Butthead but would think it's worth the $7. Yes, it is. Especially if there's any kind of inserts or parallels, any of the scratch and sniff cards or the MTV promos or any of that stuff. You can do pretty well on those. MD says he spends hundreds of thousands on cards yearly. I will never buy on that platform. Just brutal. Still can't believe it's grown as big as it has. And he's referring to Whatnot, I'm sure.
It's grown like big. It's the Mountain Dew Red Bull crowd.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's like it's like gamers, right? Day traders. yeah, they put a lot into it. They've done a lot of advertising. They've paid a lot of YouTube personalities to be involved, and yeah, so that's why it's grown to where it's been. It originally started as a Funko Pop um, live auction site, so it was just Funko Pops that were being sold on there. And then I think a bunch of Pokemon dealers got in there and started selling, and then they were like, "Hey, cards." Um, so that's kind of where it's gotten to. But there's so many shows at the same time, and you can only watch one at a time, basically. Um, it's going to be hard to get that same audience as what another channel is after.
It's more about entertainment than cards, it
Yeah,
seems,
yeah,
on a lot of days.
yeah. And even like I don't do a ton of them, but one of the ones I was in, I was like, oh, non-sport cards. I'm interested in that. I just want to see what they're throwing up there. And there were like 20 some viewers in that uh, live auction. I'm like, hey, that's not too bad. You know, if you got 20 people looking at the cards, you probably get some sales. But literally, like, only 2 of them were buying anything.
Really?
The other 19 people were just there, like me, to watch and see what was, you know, if there was like a super good deal on there, maybe you jump on it. But most of them were just on there watching. So it's like, I don't know what the point of that is. You don't get any compensation for your content being viewed. It's like Whatnot doesn't give you anything if you have 20 watchers on your live auction. Um, like, you know, YouTube video, you make YouTube videos, you can monetize that. So I don't know. You have to make sales on there in order to get any money. So that's kind of where it's at. Are there Daria stickers? I think there are. I'm trying
I
to
think
remember
there are
what the
too.
inputs are on Beavis and Butthead. But there's definitely a Daria card. I've sold a few of those. And it's hard for me to say Daria because all I can think of is diarrhea, because that's what Butthead calls her. Hey, diarrhea. It's Daria. Yeah. So, and Daria had her own show. Do you remember that? It was a
Yeah.
spin.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, she was awesome. But anyway, I think that's about all I have for tonight.
We caught up through all the chats.
We've caught up through all the chats.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we stayed on it pretty good tonight. Like I said, we didn't get too far into topics.
Well, we
Got to
talked about
behind.
teabagging a lot.
Yeah. Add that to the topic list, I guess. I don't know. You know, I did take some time and do the screen share, and we did
We did.
you know, the categories. I think that was worth our effort. Peter
Hey,
had
what do
asked
we
about
always
it.
say, right? News, nonsense, and knowledge. We covered
Yeah,
a little bit of all three.
I think so too. Um, Holiday sales have been really good for me. I've watched this recent video. Like I said, it kind of shows you what I did to ensure that. I have a new coupon kicking off tomorrow, so if you're a customer, look for that because it's going to be the best deal I've offered yet. So,
Ooh.
yeah, to throw a little teaser out there. So
Do I
check out
need to
that.
shop the dollar box?
I think you do. I think you do. I know you want some Beavis and Butthead cards, and I've got them ready to go.
I wonder if I could find some Goonies cards.
You can at retail price. Yes, yes. So anyway, I appreciate everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. Any parting words, Charlie?
um, Pleasure as always. Never a dull moment with this crowd. Really appreciate seeing the same names every week and seeing a few new ones in there, but it's really nice to have a group that we've kind of built up a relationship with on this show. It really makes it fun when we get together on these Wednesday nights. So hopefully, many more to come.
Absolutely. Yeah. So good luck, everybody. Listing, shipping, and listing, and don't forget your tea bags.
You got it. Peace out.